is Phase 2 actually better than we remembered, or did we miss the mark the first time around?
Also, we'll be covering our week in arcraiders plus the start of Phase 3 as well.
Phase 3.
Let's squat up and dive in.
What's up, everyone? SGI here. We got Izzy, Jordan today. We are on our podcast 10 today.
Episode 10.
That's crazy that we actually got to 10. We're finally here. Crazy that we've been doing this since February. And
I'm not surprised. It's actually a lot of fun doing this.
Yeah, it's been actually fun. And then we like we said earlier, we're going to be diving into MCU Phase 2 because I feel like in the last podcast, I feel like we were a little bit on the weaker end of talking about MCU Phase 2 than we did with MCU Phase 1. I feel like we talked a lot about Phase 1 and we kind of just glossed over a couple things in Phase 2, which is surprising. But now that I've rewatched them, because I made sure to rewatch most of the projects this week, I kind of got different thoughts now compared to the last time. Because I think the only things that we talked about that we had a very good, I guess, consistency of talking about was Iron Man 3 and Thor. I feel like we talked about a lot. And then we kind
didn't
of
cover too much.
We kind of just glossed over every other project, even though we had, of course, Age of Ultron, we had the Thor movie, we had Captain America, which was like a big upgrade from the first one, which I did say in the last podcast. So,
and I don't even think we touched on Ant-Man.
Nope, and we didn't even touch on Ant-Man. We just said it was the underrated. We just said it's an underrated project in the Phase 2. But yeah, we didn't really talk about that. We kind of talked about a couple little things, just like his friend that always has those jokes, which made like Ant-Man special with that. But yeah, we didn't talk about any of the details, the villain that we got in that one, how we feel about his character being introduced. So definitely feel like this is going to be a time to be able to at least recover from that last podcast into this one, especially since we're going to get into Phase 3, and Phase 3 has like tons of projects. So we're going to probably take it slow with Phase 3 because we don't want to miss anything and redo. Like, we talked about the first 3 movies, and then we talk about Phase 3, and then we just kind of like glaze over everything, and then it's just like, because that's like the big turning point, of course, for the MCU as a whole. So figured, let's get back into that. But I think before we do that, we did have a couple of news. I didn't think we were going to get that much news this week, but actually we did. The first one, which I was excited for because I've been waiting for, is the Clayface trailer.
Oh, that was so good.
The Clay, I was not expecting. No, actually, I didn't know. I was kind of expecting it because even James Gunn said himself, he was like, I want to make this like a body horror type of movie. Yeah. So I didn't know if he was going to hit the mark. And then
he definitely
he released the trailer, and I was like, oh, this is actually kind of creepy and eerie. And it felt like I was watching an A24 trailer.
No, yeah, honestly, if nobody knew who Clayface was as a villain in the Batman series, they would just be like, this is still a good movie nonetheless.
Yeah, definitely. So that's going to be interesting. It comes out this year, which is kind of cool. So we're getting 2 DCU projects, which we'll probably end up talking about sometime, especially with like where they were at and where they're at now with James Gunn. So that's going to be a whole other podcast. Probably when we get closer to the Supergirl trailer, or not trailer, the movie. I feel like we'll probably end up diving a little bit more into the DCU stuff because he hasn't watched some of the newer DCU projects except for Superman. I think is the one that you watched.
Yeah, probably the only one so far. Yeah,
but there's like there's not too many projects. There's the Peacemaker, Superman, and then what else?
That's it.
Was that the only 2 projects that were in it? Well, technically, you have the animated, the Creature Commandos one, which is part of it, but it's kind of like a prequel to, I guess you would say, the Suicide Squad movie, which he did say that movie is tied to the DCU. So, is there only 2 projects? Why do I feel like there's another project on that? No, there's only 2 projects, like 2 big projects.
Not since James Gunn's been there.
Oh, all right, well, we'll have Supergirl, so then that'll be 3, and then we're also getting Lanterns. Which quick little, I guess it is news, but I don't know. There's much we could say about it. But apparently, the new Green Lantern trailer just got taken off of all the socials and all the media and stuff for some reason. I don't know what that is, why they did that. Maybe they're gonna try because they released a teaser trailer. Maybe because they're setting up for like a full trailer, which is kind of weird because usually you would have a teaser trailer and still make an official trailer. So I don't know what the point of doing that. So I don't know. I guess James Gunn will probably end up saying something along the road, saying why they took off the teaser trailer. But yeah, at the moment, it's not anywhere. Maybe you can only watch it from like third-party resources like that, like capture that footage.
Maybe it's just to increase the hype a little bit now.
Yeah, maybe because people are talking about it. We're talking about it right now, so maybe. to increase hype for it. And then what else is news? Oh yeah, little I guess more on like the gaming side. Xbox Game Pass is getting a
whole
cheaper.
revamp.
It's getting a revamp because apparently they're taking Call of Duty off of the Game Pass, which I think is very interesting move.
From what I understand too, you'll be able to pick your plan and pay as you want. So like if you don't want to include certain subscriptions for it, you can only just pay for that only.
Yeah, so it's very interesting. I guess I don't know. It feels like it could be a good move. It could be a wrong move because I feel like it's a wrong move because like no one really plays. I feel like not as many people play Call of Duty anymore. So I feel like that was their way to get people to play Call of Duty is through Game Pass. Yeah. So maybe, but at the same time, maybe because they knew it didn't do as well in the last iteration of the game, they probably took it off of Game Pass because they're like, well, the next Call of Duty game, we want actual people to actually buy it because we want to actually make sales because I'm pretty sure they don't get that big of a cut from it being on Game Pass.
No.
So that's going to be interesting. It's a little bit cheaper. I think it went down to like $23. Still not cheaper than what it used to be because I think it actually used to be like $15 or $16 when it first came out. So it still did get cheaper because I think it was almost hitting like $30 for like the Ultimate Game Pass, which is insane. Which when I think about it, it's a kind of expensive. It's expensive, but at the same time, you get so many games in Game Pass. Like in a way, if you're playing a lot of games, I feel like then I feel like the $30 price tag is actually not bad per month. But if you're only playing like one or two projects every time on Game Pass, then I feel like the $30 might not be worth it for a monthly payment. So.
At that point, you're just throwing money away.
So that was other news.
The official cast for the Gundam.
Oh, I didn't see any of the cast. The only person I know is of course Sydney Sweeney's going to be in it, which is interesting. Just put her in anything nowadays.
I don't really care that she's in the movie as long as they do justice by the mobile suits.
Yeah. But like I don't really know anything about Gundam. He's more in tune with the Gundam lore, so he said that he doesn't mind Sydney Sweeney being in it. So
I just don't want it to be a thing where people are just going to the movie to see her.
That's
that's what people are gonna do, but I think people need to go and really understand like the whole because there's so many different like versions of that show, like different timelines and their own different aspects. But like you gotta understand, it's pretty much people invading Earth for the resources of Earth. That's basically what it comes down to at the end of the day.
Well, it's a pretty big universe too because they have a card game too.
Yeah, card game, video games, action figures, multiple TV shows.
There's video games? I don't think
there's a few. They're not very widely popular, but there are a few out there.
Okay, yeah, but that's going to be interesting. Hopefully it looks good because it's crazy how sometimes in some movies that rely heavily on CGI look worse than Pacific Rim, which came out like super long time ago, and that CGI still holds up and still looks good.
If they can make it like the way they did Pacific Rim, where it's like the people in the mech suits, I think that would be the perfect mix. They don't have to go too crazy with it. Like they do it. If they do it right, they could kill it.
Yeah, definitely. So
because that's a huge untapped market of people that not a lot of people know about.
Definitely going to be interesting because I feel like they're definitely for people, even though it's like a big name, I feel like with the movie, especially if it's good, it's going to get a lot of people to want to dive into the world of Gundam.
Oh,
which I think if that's what you get out of it, even if the movie's like okay, but it gets a lot of people to go back into the source material for like Gundam, and you start getting people to buy stuff and everything. Well, I feel like even if the movie didn't do as well, you're getting everyone back into the original the franchise as a whole. So,
like I know Crunchyroll has a few Gundam related like shows and movies, and I think Hulu has one or two different Gundam shows on there, which is worth the watch in my honest opinion.
I should definitely give it a watch then, since we have Crunchyroll thanks to our buddy Devo.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for letting us use your Crunchyroll. But yeah, I use it, but not as much as I probably should be because I know there's like tons of things out there that I feel like will expand my horizons in just the stuff that I normally watch.
Well, ever since we finished JJK, it's just kind of like we're waiting for the next one.
I know, yeah, definitely. I know there's like 12 episodes. I think I'm only like 5 or 6 episodes in, so I still haven't watched the other half yet.
Oh, really? Okay. All right.
So we'll definitely end up talking about that eventually because we haven't talked about anime in a while. But I feel like there's been a lot more other things that we wanted to talk about. So eventually we'll probably end up diving back into the world of anime. I need to get back to watching Dragon Ball because I watched only like the first 6 episodes. So
it drags. I know it does.
But I have to watch it if I want him to watch Code Geass. So That's it. It's worth it to me. And what else? Well, we got a couple other news too that I saw. What else was there? We were just talking about this too. There was. Wow, why can't I remember any of the news? Do you remember anything? Because I know we talked about this briefly about like some new stuff.
Was it about Street Fighter?
No, Street Fighter was last week. We talked about that heavily last week.
Well, if we think of it, we can always come back to it.
Yeah. Because that literally was, I was just like, oh yeah, there was a good amount of news stories that came up this week in game, but I can't remember it for some reason for the life of me. So, well, let's dive into it. Like always, we have our little quick fire question. So if we end up going off on a tangent, it's because I figured out what the next news story was. But we usually like to do like the quick fire questions because then it opens up small little debate, and then it also lets us talk to you guys about the same question and getting your answers back for these questions and seeing how you guys think about the questions that we have. So
yeah,
let's dive into our first question.
First question: one Phase 2 character that deserved a little bit more screen time.
Oof. Honestly, I know they just barely introduced her in Age of Ultron, but Scarlet Witch, I feel like in general, you know what? Instead of like in Phase 2, I feel like in general, I feel like she should have probably gotten more screen time than what we got, because I think you get Scarlet Witch in Age of Ultron, then you get her briefly in Civil War, and I think you don't see her again until Infinity War. Infinity War. I don't think you see her again until that. So I really like Scarlet Witch, so I feel like they could have utilized her a little bit more in the phase as a whole. Because we do get a project later on after Endgame, but I don't know. I feel like there could have been some more story lore for her before we got to that point where she gets a whole show based around her.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for me, I would say Scarlet Witch. And actually, you know what? Captain Marvel. Because you get Captain Marvel only in Infinity War, and then you get her movie. And then you get her in Endgame too. Yeah. But like she seems very much like a side character at that point, because like she gets her whole movie, but it's like a prequel.
Yeah.
And I don't remember too much about that, but I'll probably since we're gonna be talking about Phase 3, I'll probably end up rewatching all of Phase 3.
Because she doesn't come out till Phase 3, so she wouldn't be part of Phase 2.
Yeah. I think I'm just thinking more along like the line as MCU Phase, like all of MCU in general. Which ones I feel like character-wise should have been utilized more. We could have seen more. I think for me, I was just generalizing it as all. Unless you have a specific character that you would have liked to see in the MCU Phase 2 more.
Definitely the Hulk, because he only comes out in one of the movies, and it's Age of Ultron.
I didn't think about that. Oh yeah,
it's the only movie he's.
Yeah.
Because after Age of Ultron, we don't see him till Thor Ragnarok.
Oh wow!
And then after Thor Ragnarok, obviously we see him in.
You see him briefly, technically, because I totally forgot the end credit for Iron Man, but Iron Man 3 has a post credit, and I guess he's talking about he's kind of like using Bruce Banner as a therapist or whatever, and he's like telling him about all the things he's been going through, and then Bruce Banner's like, I'm not that type of doctor. And that's like the only instance. I think, that's the only instance. So, hey, you know what? Now that you said that, you know what? We should have probably seen more of the Hulk instead of the little cameo that you get in the post credit, and then you get him in Age of Ultron, and then, like you said, we don't see him until Ragnarok.
Yeah, I mean, and when we do get him in Age of Ultron, it's like I love it when he loses control in the city and like he gets beat down in the Hulkbuster suit by Tony Stark, but he still wins. Oh yeah. When he wins, but he doesn't win, kind of thing.
Oh, that scene is so good. Because I just came off before we even started this podcast. I was watching Age of Ultron, and yeah, it's pretty good. There's little things that when we get to it later on, I'll talk a little bit about But I only watched like halfway through it, so I might miss some stuff. But yeah, definitely the last scene I saw was him fighting Hulk, which I thought was really cool. Iron Man.
Oh yeah.
Iron Man standing up to the Hulk and surprisingly doing a pretty good job handling with him. But my favorite part, I think we talked about it briefly, but like when he's like punching the Hulk and he's like, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. That part's so funny. I love that part. But it's so interesting as we dive into the MCU. It's like I totally forget that there's like a heavy chemistry that they try to build up between Black Widow and Bruce Banner.
Oh yeah,
which we'll dive more into when we get into our MCU phase talk. But yeah, you know what? I think Hulk is the perfect character that was underused in Phase 2. That would have been very interesting if we would have got a whole movie. Because you don't again, he becomes very much a side character, but I feel like he hasn't had his own time to shine. In any of the projects.
Well, because the last Hulk movie was from the first phase, and it was Edward Norton.
Yeah, so it wasn't totally different Hulk.
It wasn't even the same Hulk, so we were just supposed to kind of like, just suck it up and be like, oh, it's the same guy with a different face, kind of thing.
Yeah, pretty much. Stupid. No, well, he's a doctor, so he did facial reconstruction. To make him look different.
Science.
Science.
Yeah. And then what do you think had a better phase of like movies, phase 2 or phase 3?
Honestly, the way phase 3 starts, which we'll be diving into later on, I think phase 3 is the best start into the phase, because phase 2 is definitely cool, but like I said, Iron Man 3, there's like, as much as I enjoyed it, you get a lot of the projects that we get introduced into phase 2 are a lot of like more character development. But like I think with Civil War, start of that, it kind of just gets in there.
I would have to agree.
It definitely feels like an Avengers movie to me, even though the Avengers are not the complete story of it. It's still like very much a Captain America story, but it still feels like an Avengers movie.
I feel like phase 3 is definitely the better phase because it has some of the best movies.
Well, it's the climax.
Yeah, because it's a build up towards the end, and I think there's more movies in phase 3 than there is the other ones. So
I totally forgot about this too, but you know how we were always saying like there's like tons of shows that came out for the newest phase that we have of movies. I totally forgot that during phase 2, technically Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. takes place.
Correct.
During phase 2.
There's a lot of like things in between. Because even in the first phase, there's a couple like side shows. If you go on Disney Plus and you watch it like chronological order, it puts all the shows in the right spots.
I think there's like a couple shorts, and then there's the one Agent Carter. I think Agent Carter and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. are like the bigger budgeted shows, and they're very much part of like the phase 2 as a whole. So it's like, oh wow, when I think about it, I totally forgot that we actually got like shows that were part of phase 2.
Yeah,
it's still kind of a newer thing what they did with the newer phase, but not that new because but at the same time, what I liked about the TV shows with those ones, from what I know, you didn't have to watch them to like catch along with the story, which I feel like with how many shows there are with the newest stuff of Marvel, I feel like, well, if you didn't watch this show, you're not going to know this part. And I definitely feel like they probably did a good job with the show. It's like, hey, you can watch it, get some extra stuff like Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all that, but it's not like it's going to take away from the overall story from like the main movies, which I think is cool, which I think should be the whole point of a show. Like add some extra expandedness, but you don't necessarily have to take away from like the full story of the movies.
Like it's an optional thing if you want to hear more backstory about certain things.
If you're like a lore hunter, you're just like, ooh, I want to know what this was, or I want to know more about this. So definitely very interesting one. So yeah, let us know also too in the comments which one you think was the most underrated. I feel like we're probably gonna all agree that Bruce Banner was the underrated, underused character in phase 2. So
damn you, Marvel.
Yeah, damn it, Marvel. Well, Disney too. I feel like Disney had a play in that too.
I think it was more of a Disney than a Marvel thing. And then because you could totally see the shift in how the movies are when Disney takes over. Because the way the movies are, like in the first phase when it was just Marvel, you could just tell they were very grounded and very serious about the story. And then once you I don't remember when the Disney takeover happened.
I don't remember either.
You could tell there's a shift in how some of these movies are.
I want to say possibly. I don't know. Possibly phase 3 might have been where the Disney takeover happens. I'm not entirely sure. Let's see. You know what? I have my phone right here. Let's see. Let's do a quick little deep dive and see when
I want to say it was probably in between phase 2 somewhere.
Let's see. Give us a second.
Or shit, maybe it was before it started phase 3.
When did Disney acquire? Oh wow, no, first totally wrong. They acquired MC or the Marvel back in 2009. Wow, so they already had their hand even with phase 1. So yeah, there was never a part that Disney wasn't part of it. But
well, you could tell after phase 1 things kind of weren't the same as far as how the movies were. Because I mean, 3 years later, that's when we got Avengers. So I mean, like it was good.
Dang. So yeah, before then, that's why, you know what? Probably because that was when Disney acquired Marvel. Everyone was like, oh, really? Disney acquired Marvel? But then Disney was like, well, we have something special for you guys.
Yeah.
We're going to do a whole MCU thing. Because when did Iron Man come out?
2008.
Oh, yeah. So they probably wow. So Iron Man was the only one that was no, because even I would say yeah, that's when you notice it too. Because when you watch, I think when you watch the first, no, even I think even with the later Iron Mans or projects, I remember you go, it does the intro and it has Paramount, the sign, the Paramount, like the Paramount logo.
All the movies in Phase 1 all have the Paramount one, but
That's
once you start Phase 2, it's gone.
Yeah, but that's funny that yeah. So
you could see the shift in how things are done and how the movies kind of play out.
It's kind of funny because I always associate these Marvel with Disney. So when I saw those original movies and then saw the Paramount, I was like, this is kind of funny to see. Because yeah, they were acquired by. So technically, Iron Man was the only one that wasn't part of like the Disney or was before even Disney took over. And you definitely do get a vibe from like, of course, Iron Man 1. So, oh, cool. Well, gotta give Disney some credit. They gave us a DC, or they gave us. I was about to say DCU.
Like, oh,
they're gonna get everyone to rage at us right now calling it the DCU. They
gave this guy.
I know, right? They gave us the MCU, so gotta give them some credit.
I think the only studio or franchise to do something like that so far. So
yeah, definitely
successfully.
Yeah, because apparently, yeah. Well, literally, once they released the MCU with the Phase 1, I feel like a lot of different studios were trying to follow suit in making their own universe.
DC tried but fell short, unfortunately. As much as I would have loved to have seen that succeed.
Definitely. But we're kind of like getting that vibe with the new DCU.
Yeah.
But let's just hope he can bring it, because we only, like you said, we only have like 2 main projects, and then you have a couple of side stuff. But like the 2 main ones that are part of this new storyline for the DCU are Superman and.
I would rather them take their time in making these movies than just shoving movies out like the way Marvel and Disney do now, because you get a movie out real quick and it just doesn't feel like there's enough time and effort. Versus if you take a year or 2 off of making movies and you give and produce good movies, I think
but then we're also in that era where everyone wants it now. So like, if anything, people lose interest in stuff after you wait like a year or 2, and it's like, oh, we're finally releasing the project. Then everyone's like, we already moved on to the next thing because of everyone's attention span is so like.
Well, maybe I'm more of
jump onto something else.
I'm more of a quality over quantity type of person.
Yeah, so same.
If you give me good movies and they're maybe a year to 2 years apart, I don't care.
Definitely,
as long as it's good.
That's us.
Yeah,
that's not to say for everyone else outside of us.
But I have to imagine there's a lot of people out there that are very like-minded like us.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Who feel like, hey, like if you take time to make a good quality movie, like people will go see it. I mean, it's like any movie that Christopher Nolan makes, like they're spaced out years apart, and no matter what movie it is, people are gonna go see it. Like the Odyssey.
It's gonna be a stacked year for those movies, though. Going off a quick little tangent, but stacked year for movies this year, man. We're getting Odyssey. We're getting Dune 3, which I still haven't watched any of the Dunes yet.
Same.
But I know it's a big movie. Yeah. Everyone loves it. And then you're getting Doomsday. Well, now Clayface is out in that mix too, so damn, that's like
Street Fighter comes out.
Oh yeah, Street Fighter. Wow,
Mortal Kombat,
which is coming out next month. Yeah, you know what?
There's a few scary
here for movies.
There's a few scary movies coming out that are like
Scary Movie 6.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I don't mean those scary movies. I mean like real like horror flicks coming out that I just can't remember.
Scary Movie 6 is a scary movie.
I think we're done with those. We need to stop.
You know you want it.
I'll watch it when it comes out on DVD.
You know you wanted a Scary Movie 6.
I didn't really. Those movies are funny, but they're stupid funny.
Yeah, but that's the best kind of funny.
It depends. I think they push.
Why do you think SpongeBob was so good back in the day? It was just stupid funny.
But it was.
I love all that.
But it was good, stupid funny. This is just kind of like brain rot funny.
Yeah, but isn't that how? That's always how that was Scary Movie's thing.
Yeah, I know that.
In this climate, I feel like we need something like that because we're getting to we can't be getting offended by everything nowadays. So
yeah, everybody.
That's why I feel like I like the way they're going with Scary Movie 6. They're like, we're offending everyone. I'm like, you know what? Let's get back to that, where everyone can just laugh at each other without being like, oh, how dare you say that about me? How dare you say that?
Cancel this man.
I know, cancel this person. Like, we need to get back to being able to laugh at ourselves. Definitely. Instead of just taking it to heart and being like, oh no, they're nitpicking at me. Yeah. It's like, no, they're not. It's generalized for everyone. Everyone's getting the smoke. But yeah, and I think we have another question, quick fire question for today as well. Oh no, was that it?
No, that was it. Yeah,
just the 2.
Oh, just the 2. hopping into the next segment.
Which is our week in arcraiders, which is always a continuous segment that we have here, which I enjoy for. Even though I've been kind of lacking in the arcraiders field, he's been going harder than I have.
Not I.
I know. I don't know. For me, like I'm enjoying it, but like I don't know. I think it was probably just this week. I don't know. For some reason, I just didn't play as many games this week in general, so it wasn't like I was playing something else. I played a couple games of Marvel Rivals this week, but I don't know. There was just like a vibe for this week that I just didn't feel like playing video games this week.
Life.
I know. So, but I did get some arcrader games in yesterday.
I know we played for a couple hours yesterday.
Not too many things happened, but
yeah, we got our ass handed to us like 5 times in a row, and I was already like, I'm gonna turn this shit off now. Like
before we dive into that short little week or that day that we played arcraiders, I know you had more again with arcraiders this week, so tell me your stories from top side.
I know, right? I would say a lot of this week for me was just kind of prepping for the upcoming update for arcraiders to get the new map.
Oh, that was the other news thing. We got like 3 different teasers for arcraiders. Yes. There you go. Eventually the news finds my way back into my head, but it's relevant to the conversation, the topic that we were on.
Yeah.
But yeah, those teasers
I thought they were good. I like it when they tease something, but they don't give me a whole lot of information because it leaves me to find out on my own.
I do like the teasers, just from the little glimpses, because I know this is the new map that they're introducing with this teaser, and just from like the little teasers that they did, I don't know, like didn't think if I was very interested in like the way the map looks. Like I didn't like some of the parts that they showed. I was like, it looks like for a second when the teaser trailer showed up, I thought it was just Buried City because it kind of has that very similar look to Buried City. And I was like, I was expecting more like open areas and like the big old water because it's next to like the ocean and everything. So maybe because they know that's what everyone's looking for, maybe they're just saving it for the full trailer. Because I'm pretty sure because I think the update's coming out on
29th?
28th actually.
28th, okay.
So that's Tuesday, I think.
No, is it? Dang, already.
No, 25th is Sunday. 26th, 27th. Oh, Wednesday. Okay. So we'll probably get a full trailer maybe on Monday or Tuesday, hopefully, and we'll probably see the full map. But actually, surprisingly enough, some of the parts of the map did get leaked from data miners, and they actually released the video, and I saw it randomly as we were coming down to the podcast, and I saw a video, and like some of the parts that they did show in that leak thing actually looked a lot more nicer. I was like, okay, this is what I wanted. Yeah, but, like the teasers didn't do that map justice.
I did see a few videos like that too, and I tried to avoid watching them, but like I glimpsed that, and I'm like, that looks so cool. I don't mind when they release little teasers and tidbits about stuff. I just don't like being given the full information. You gotta leave a little bit to curiosity to find out on your own, because I hate it when people just go out there and they just kind of they find all the info about something like that and they just kind of spoil it for everybody else. It's like, dude, why can't we all just find out on our own and explore on our own? Because then it comes down to, it's like, okay, well, you already know what the map looks like. You're already going to know where certain things are. It's just like, what? You're really not leaving anything to surprise, which is what it should be.
Yeah, but I feel like also, too, just in general, I feel like trailers in general are not, like, teasery anymore. I feel like that's why I do like the teasers. Because I feel like before we used to get, like, little glimpses of, like, little parts and, like, oh, that's cool, but you didn't know too much about it. And now we're just, like, every trailer that we get or anything, I feel like I saw the whole movie in the trailer.
Yeah.
Like, with some of these, like, the newer directions that they went with these trailers. And I was like, I don't want to see everything. I want some surprise. And I feel like there's no element of surprise anymore in these trailers.
Yeah.
They just show you everything. Which is why I like the Clayface trailer, because I don't know what's going to happen.
Which is what makes it, you want to give enough to make people interested, but not too much where they're just like, now I don't know if I want to see it because I saw so much of it.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, with games, it's one thing. With movies, it's another thing too. I think trailers are too long for movies nowadays. I think like it should be limited to like 1 minute instead of like 2 to 3 minutes, because I feel like you give way too much information. I don't want to know the plot. I just want to know. I want to see cool little action scenes.
I don't want to know any characters that are going to make special guests into like their movies. Like I don't want to know that. Like it would have been cool to not know the Punisher was in Brand New Day. It would have been cool to just be left up to watching Brand New Day and then seeing the Punisher.
Yeah, because like when you Google a movie nowadays before it's even out, it'll tell you the cast already. And I'm just like, they shouldn't have that on any platform until it's released, because that builds the hype of.
Yep.
once it comes out, then maybe you could release the cast list. But like, you want to give those people who are going to see it day one that genuine surprise. That it's like, hey, like you weren't there for the first day, so sucks to be you because we got to see it firsthand. Surprise. Now you just hear about it everywhere. Now you're not surprised when you go and see it. I think that's kind of killed the movie thing.
Yeah.
For me, personally, it's just like, don't show me in the previews the cast. Like, you could show the like some of the important characters, but don't give away like the cameos. Don't give away this and that. I mean, like, let it be a surprise, because that's the whole point of going to a movie, is being like
I would have been more surprised. I know that's a later phase, but like with Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, I would have liked to not know that Charles Xavier was going to be in it.
Oh, I know.
Like, it would have been cool to just see that.
And they were throwing that in our face the entire
then they were only
time.
Well, you know what? We're going to talk about it briefly. It's like, and they're there for like 5 minutes, and then they're gone. And it's like, they set up this whole thing. This was going to be the thing. That's what everyone was like, oh, I want to go see Multiverse of Madness. And then it's like, they kind of just gloss over that part. And it's just like,
to me, that's fucking clickbait. Doing shit like that, where they show us like, hey, yes, he's gonna be in there, but it's like for 5 minutes.
We live in an era of clickbaiting in anything that we do. Like, I remember like there's tons of videos that I see, and they try to make it sound like it's one thing, and then I'm like, okay, I'll watch it. And then I watch it, and then it has nothing to do with what I just saw, what I was like thinking it was going to be about. And then it's like, well, they got you to watch it, so
Screw you, basically. I don't like that.
I don't like how clickbaity we got nowadays.
Reeling it back into the arcraiders stuff. I'm kind of glad I don't know too much about what's going on. I've seen the videos like closer. Like yesterday, I saw a few, and I'm like, damn, that looks sick. And I'm trying to like avoid going on my phone and scrolling through, because I know like once you start liking certain things, like your algorithm starts to throw the rest of them at you, and I'm just like, anything arcraiders, I skip right over. I'm like, nope, I don't want to see it. I don't even want to see it.
I guess before we continue with our arcraiders, also too, like, because we're talking about like game trailers and stuff, I feel like game trailers need to be trailers, but also show gameplay. Because I hate when you get a trailer.
It looks beautiful.
And it looks beautiful, but it's like, it's not even going to look like that. And it's like, at least give me some gameplay and somehow like give us a cool cinematic, and then give us some brief gameplay.
Yeah.
But and it's like, if you don't have gameplay, I feel like you shouldn't be releasing the trailer. Or also too, with a lot of projects now with games, it's like they give you the trailer, and then it's like it won't be out for like 6 more years or like 5 years, or they have no release date. And it's like, then don't give me a trailer right now, because I don't know when this is going to come out. Come out with a trailer when you actually have a release date. Don't give me a trailer and don't give me any information about when it's coming out, what it's going to be, and this and this and that. Like, have the full details first before giving me a trailer, because then I'm going to see a trailer and I'll be like, oh, that's cool. And then who knows it's going to come out, when it's going to come out. It comes out from 5 years. I care less about it now, because
yeah, you could say that, but there are some games that can do that. I mean, like Halo is a prime example of a game where they released it. Like, I remember when they dropped the trailer for Halo 3 at E3. God, that's so. There's no more. Is there still E3? I don't even think.
No, E3 doesn't exist anymore. They do. They do the summer of games thing now, but it's online now.
But I remember when they dropped the trailer for that in E3, and it was like a year out before the game was even like to be released. So
that's fine. I'm cool with that. But when you have no release date, or the game's not coming out until 2030, don't give me a trailer.
Yeah, no, I can see
when we get closer to it, like let's say it's 2030, give me a trailer in 2029 or something like that.
I think if a game is
2028,
if it comes out within a year to 2 years of that a trailer being released, it's
fine.
Reasonable. But I think like I can't really think of a game where they dropped it and they didn't say when it was coming out.
Oh, the new Star Wars game that just got announced. I forgot what it's called. It's a new They're releasing a new Star Wars game. The trailer came out, and it was announced at Video Game Awards last year. I forget what the name of it is, but I think it has to do with the Old Republic. And the cinematic looked great, and you're like, oh my gosh, we're getting a Star Wars game.
Aren't they just remastering the Old Republic?
No, it has to do. So they are doing that, but then they're also making a brand new game that they announced. Like I said, I don't remember the name for it, and
I haven't seen that one yet. Then
pretty much they released the trailer. And I was like, it looked great. I was like, ooh, I'm excited. And then no release date, just coming soon. I'm like, we'll see this in like 5 years, aren't we?
Yeah, who knows? Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like trailers need to be coming out when we have a release date, or if the game's like 1 to 2 years away.
Yeah, I think that's
Let's
fair. Then,
see.
yeah.
New Star Wars game. Oh, here it is. Is it this one? New generator? No. New Star Wars game. I want to know because it's been eating at me about what the new game is. Oh, Star Wars Eclipse is what it's
I
going to be called.
don't know
The
about
trailer
that one.
great. Like it looked pretty good. I didn't know it was Star Wars until like I saw one part. I think you hear that's cool. That's what I kind of like about some Star Wars stuff, or like just Star Wars in general. If you hear like little sounds, you can kind of tell it's a Star Wars project.
Oh, of course.
So like as soon as there was, I forget what sound happened, but in this trailer, and I was like, oh, before they even announced the title of it, I was like, oh, this is a Star Wars game.
Iconic.
Yeah. Like just you get those iconic sounds and feels of vibes. But yeah, it looks cool. The trailer great, but they didn't. They said coming soon. I'm like, don't give me a coming soon. Give me coming in 2 years.
Yeah.
But before we but let's get back into arcraiders about your week.
Yeah. This week was just a lot of prep work for just getting ready for the new. Do for real, because I'm trying to stack up on certain parts and stuff. I mean, I got certain blueprints that I've been wanting to get. Like I got the Delabra blueprint. And
he's
then
Batman of the Arc Raiders. Prep time.
These two definitely, dude. I want to have at least a set of guns ready for like that PvP, because you know that's what it's gonna be when that map drops. Everybody's gonna be in it. Everybody's gonna be killing each other for it. So I just want to be ready.
Well, let's see if it even makes that this new update even makes anything worth fighting for.
I think
type of thing, because I know they've kept a lot of it under wraps, but like I hope we don't get just a map and like maybe a couple little quality life changes. I hope we get like not a crazy overhaul, but
we're gonna get new guns.
I hope we get something like fresh.
Yeah, we're gonna get obviously new arc, new guns, and I think they'll add some things to keep it fresh, because I've been hearing a lot of people saying like, "Oh, the game's falling off like in player count," but it's like I don't ever see it, because when I'm playing, like there's plenty of people there to play with or against.
I think because that was, which is fine. You can do it as metric, but like Steam, I think it dropped. I think peak was like at 80K or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like from where it used to be 80K, it's like whoa. But the thing is, I always hate that when you see a player count, because people always use Steam charts to be able to I guess make it seem like the game is not good or all that stuff. It's like people are not playing it 24/7.
Yeah.
So if you see it super low, you were probably checking on the weekday when there's less people playing, because people got work, people got jobs.
I think the only time it should matter is between Friday and Sunday.
Yeah,
during peak hours, which would be later in the night.
That too, but also too, because it's not at where it used to be. Let's say whatever player count you saw when it came out or when a new update came out and stuff. It's like, don't try to try to downplay it and be like, oh, see, the game's dying. And it's like, no, that doesn't mean the game's dying. People are just, there's new updates. People did the update. They're taking a break. They don't want to burn out. So they're not playing it 24/7. So I hate that people try to set that as a way to say if a game is bad or not, because the player count isn't at 500K players. And it's like, no.
I think if a game starts off high like the way arcraiders did, with like over 200,000 player count,
it's a brand new game. So
and then like a couple months of, let's just say like 6 months have gone by, and let's just say there's like a steady flow of maybe like 80 to 90,000 players.
Yeah.
I know that's a huge difference between when it started and there, but as long as you can keep a level of players within a certain like number from here to here, I think a game would be considered successful.
Yeah, I think when you would probably say
consistency is one thing. The amount of people on day one will always be different from like now. Because if we compare from today's players and arcraiders to day one, it's totally different.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because the
game started off real slow and then it took off.
Yeah.
And then it drastically changed when people were just other games come out.
Yeah, other games. We had stacked. We had a good amount of games that came out this year, that are coming out this year, and that we have this year. So there's other things to play. People are not just gonna be playing arcraiders for the rest of their life.
No.
And it's like, that's what people need to take into consideration. They're probably playing something else.
Yeah. I mean, granted, I do play arcraiders every day, but I'll maybe play it for a couple hours, put it down, and then play something else. I think people understand that, like, to not burn yourself out from one game, you need to have other games to play.
Yeah.
And it's just, you could have your favorite game and love it and play it every day, but you got to have other things mixed in so you don't get that, like, I'm fucking done with this game. I don't want to touch it no more. Which, like, when I'm playing by myself, like this week, specifically just gathering up materials, getting some blueprints here and there, finishing up the project that took me forever. And I only finished it because of you. You gave me
you got the last matrix.
It's funny because on one of the days I went like on a solid run of just trying to get matrixes, and it is so hard doing it by yourself.
Definitely.
To get to get the matrix is easy. To get out with it is the harder part, because as soon as you open up that thing and you got all those arc next to you, and then you get people shooting you in the back through the smoke. That's the shitty part. Is that part?
You need someone to watch your back when you're doing that. As soon as
you open it, you have to immediately throw it in your safe pocket. Otherwise, you're not gonna get out with it. And that's how I did it. I would get at least 1 to 2 matrices per game, but then I would lose my entire loadout for it. So it was kind of defeating the purpose. So I was kind of burning myself into the ground by doing that. And it would be like, okay, like I lost my loadout. I'm gonna start out with the free kit, go out and gather a bunch of things. Once I feel like I'm properly equipped with the right resources, then I'll go back out and do another run and then lose everything again. This is just kind of like a clockwork thing. So I was doing that because you needed a shit ton of those matrices.
Oh yeah.
And the vaporizer coils.
And then also, do you need a crap ton of resources just to make the shotgun, the new shotgun, huh?
Yeah, you need 2 gyros, 2 Exodus 2 gyros.
Shredder that drops from the shredder. Yeah. Oh, you said magnetic accelerators.
Oh yeah, 2 magnetic accelerators, and then you need 2 of the vaporizer coils. So 2, 2, and 2. You can only get the vaporizer coils during those events. Yeah. You can only get the shredders. I mean, I know they're in certain maps, but
I barely see them in the other maps.
If you want to guarantee, you got to go to Stelamontes.
Yeah, definitely.
But if not, you could. I mean, I've seen them, a few of them in like. I've seen.
We saw
Buried
one
City.
we saw one in Damn Battlegrounds yesterday when we went to like our normal resource run or whatever. There was a shredder just chilling down there. Yeah. I was like, I've never seen a shredder down here.
No, I know it. I think that'll change too with this new update. I think we're going to see more.
Hopefully, because I feel like ever since they said shredders are coming to the other maps, I feel like I've
only seen a handful of them.
I don't see them ever.
If I do see them, it's usually because they're blown up somewhere. Somebody else took them out. But so yeah, making Stelamontes runs just to go get the gyros is kind of like fuck.
But I think the thing that always pulls me out, which I can't say this should be the one that deters me from playing it that much, is I just hate, because we're such in like a heavy PvP area now, lobbies now. Which I don't mind. We put ourselves there.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I just hate if we do die, it gets frustrating, because the thing why it gets frustrating is because then I have to waste 10, 15 minutes making a class, trying to make all my heals, trying to make all my shield chargers, trying to make my weapons, see if I want to upgrade it or not, adding all the components and all that stuff. And it's like, I don't like how much prep time it takes to get into another game. I want to just be able to maybe take a couple minutes and then dive into another game right away. And sometimes I don't want to go with the free loadout, because it's like I feel like it's kind of useless to go with a free loadout, especially if we're in heavy PvP lobbies, because like the kettle can do good, the Stitcher, the multiple times that I've used it now in PvP, it just feels like it doesn't do as much as it used to. I think the only time that I can say that I probably do a decent time is when I get the Rattler, even though that gun's trash. When I get the Rattler, I'm like, okay, I think I could do something. I can do some PvP and all that stuff. But a Pharaoh sometimes, but that's only for like playing like long range.
Yeah.
Everything. But yeah, I just don't like.
I
just think they need to do some things to be able to make a loadout faster than having to waste 10, 15 minutes of your time to get into another raid. And it's like, and then you might lose it again. Then you're spending another 15 minutes to make another class. Like, they need to add something. I don't know how they would go about it. If you're hearing this, Embark. But there needs to be something to be able to make a class quicker, so I can dive into another game instead of me, again, wasting like 15 minutes to set up a class to be able to dive into another raid.
Well, I mean, what if they had just something where like you could just buy a preset class and go out with it? And it's already stacked with like health, shields. Maybe not a lot. Maybe depending on how much you spend, that'll determine what kind of a class you get when you go out. Because
I think that could work. Then a lot of people that have a crap ton of money, they can just always take one of those classes in.
True, but there should be a cooldown with it. Like, you could only use it 2 or 3 times a day.
I guess that's kind of cool, but at the same time, then we get back into once I run out of those, I have to go back to wasting 15 minutes to make a class.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that's just part of the game. Is like, hey, like, the risk of going out with making so much shit. I think going out with the free kit and coming back with stuff is like it's just a gamble. It's a gamble when we go out with any of the stuff we take out. So it's like, if you go out there with, because of your tactics will have to change going out with the free loadout. You're gonna have to be more on the sneak side of things.
Yeah.
So like,
I feel defenseless whenever I come across Arc.
Yeah.
I have a free load. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna do anything to that thing.
Mm-hmm. I just going up against a team with like free stuff is not impossible. You just got to catch them on the right
Yeah, definitely. I know
If you
it's not
catch them,
impossible.
if you catch them on the run from arc while they're taking damage and you capitalize on it, I think that's like the best way to do it. Going up straight up in a battle, I think is just wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I would like something to be able to make a class quicker, like a quick. You know what would be kind of cool if you have the resources for it. Quick presets. So if you make a class, whatever your class is or whatever, you set it, you save it as a preset. So whenever you want to dive into another game, as long as you have the resources from that loadout that you set as a preset, you could just click on that. Load preset or whatever, and then you can load that preset with all your shield charges, all your heals, and everything. So then all you have to do is, if you, let's say you are out of shields and heals, all you have to do is make it, click that load preset, and it loads everything into the loadout, and then you're able to go out. I think that would be nice. That would be cool. Be able to save your presets, and then you can just make the class like that quick, as long as you have the resources for it.
Yeah, I could see that. But I also think that's part of the reason why they allow you to craft your materials in large quantities versus just like craft as you need it. Because I think that's what takes up more time. Is like when I go out, I only craft what I need and leave the rest in inventory, like the parts for it. I don't like just having those kinds of things sitting in my inventory because it takes up space. Rather, having the resources ready to do it whenever I'm ready for it is just more beneficial. And then when it comes to like killing other arcs, I'm sorry, when it comes to killing other raiders, taking back the shit that they have is so important because you just add it to your stash of like, hey, like I got a stack of heals. I took this guy's ammo. I took this guy's guns. Like or grenades.
You just have, if you go, you just have to get lucky with getting that first. I guess as long as you get the first raiders you come across and you kill them, I feel like you would be fine to do the rest of the raid with that, because then you'll just grab, like you said, grab their heals, you grab their weapons, and then you just use that. And I think that's the thing. But if you don't get the luck to be able to find a raider, or you don't find any raiders at all, then yeah, you're kind of like just being stealthy or like trying to be very choosy of what you do and everything. But yeah, definitely a nice preset thing that lets me load into my class quicker would be really cool.
No, definitely. I agree with you on that. It does take some time to do it, but at the same time, it's the way the game is designed. Like it's meant to be like a sort of a frustrating thing. It's like, hey, like I just spent hours grinding all this stuff and I just lost it to some punk ass kid that was just hiding in the corner.
Which I don't mind that, because I expect going into that. It's just, again, being able to get into the lobbies shouldn't be as frustrating.
Yeah,
you should just be able to like, oh, I died. Oh crap, I lost my stuff. That sucks. But I can just dive into another raid with another class without having to waste any time. I can just dive into the next raid.
And I think that's part of like,
if anything, with that preset, you might lose your stuff even faster.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it might even be worse doing that too, because it's like, well,
that's why. But then
I just spent 30,000 coins and I lost everything, or whatever the amount would be.
Yeah, but there's still that risk in it. So I feel like adding that preset, if there was that risk, that mentality you go into, it's like I feel like it would be beneficial to have that preset option.
I think when you go in with the free loadout, you need to utilize more of the things that are on the map, like the weapons crates, doing the picking up those crates and taking it to the
finding a security breach.
Yeah, and then what is the field depots? Taking those crates to the field depots and utilizing that, because some of them they drop a lot of grenades, ammo, and every now and then a weapon. So it's like if you come with the free loadout, you need to understand like there are ways to like achieve.
Which I know it's a free load at the end of the day, so like I feel like it should be it shouldn't be like OP and all that stuff. It's just that I remember I used to like using free loadouts, but now like I've been playing more. It's just like I don't know. I don't really enjoy using free loadouts anymore. Like I want to take a class, and because I have the guns that I didn't have, I do have the Tempest now. I do have these guns that I like using. Where when I go on the free loadout, I'm just like, because it's just like it just feels like it's a hit and miss, which is how it's supposed to feel. It just I don't enjoy using free loadouts as much as I used to anymore. Like, I want to use my stuff. I just wish it didn't take so long to use my stuff.
There's more gratitude in taking somebody out with a free loadout than your own loadout, because there's times when we go on stacked with a loadout and I still get killed, and I'm just like, great, I wasted my time doing that. And then I'll grab a free loadout. That's why. And then I get lucky, and I'm just like, oh, like there it is.
That's why, again, preset thing, you wouldn't have that factor like, oh, like I died, I just wasted all my time making that class. You go into that saying, oh, cool, I could just load in my preset, hop into another game. It's not like that thought when you get killed. You're like, I just wasted 20 minutes making this class, and then I just lost it all. So I feel like it would take away that like mindset, and you're just like, oh, I died. I'm frustrated, but I will just load into another game, loading in my preset with the class that I want to use instead of again wasting all that time.
Yeah,
making class.
It's an endless loop, a cycle, because the same thing. Like we can go into loadout, and somebody with the free loadout just happens to get the jump on us.
Mm-hmm.
Then we go in with the free loadout, and we happen to get the jump on somebody, and we take their shit. So it's like, if I don't mind if I build a loadout and I'm able to get more than 5 games with it, then I'm like, okay, it served its purpose. I've done what I've needed to do with it. If I lose it, I'm not so pissed about it. Going into games and losing back to back though, then it's like, okay, we got a fucking problem here.
Yeah.
Which is then I'm like, okay, screw it. I'm just gonna run a free loadout till I get somebody and then take a loadout from somebody. Which is just a gamble. I mean, last night was a prime example. We lost 5 games in a row, which is funny because before that I had played 10 games in a row by myself, no problem.
Remember.
The second I joined with you, for game 1,
always been like that ever since the day one of us talking about arcraiders playing.
Dude,
whenever we play with each other,
I wasn't
on
mad.
site.
I wasn't so mad on the first game just because I'm like, okay, I just played 10 games. I don't mind that I lost these weapons. They were already kind of deteriorating, and I didn't want to repair them anyway. So losing it wasn't a big deal. But like once we got around to like the 3rd and 4th game, I was like, all right, I'm a little pissed now. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I feel like not too much happened with our yesterday. Not much. Kind of just us randomly going in. We were trying to get some queen reactors, but that wasn't successful.
Getting skunked on that too. Yeah,
because a team jumped him, but I freaking got stomped because I was kind of close. I was kind of close to the queen, and she just stomped me, and then I took some damage, and then I was trying to heal, and then she used her laser like at point blank, and then I just took all the damage and then just died. I was like, man,
that's so stupid.
I didn't think she would use her laser that close, that close to her. I didn't think she would use it that close by. I thought it would be like more if I was like a distance away, but no, she used it like right there. She was staring down at me.
It happened to me twice yesterday when we were doing the matriarch event. The first one was that one you explained, and then the second one was when in the same spot we were just to the right a little bit. As you dropped the part, and you're like, oh, I dropped the leg piece. Go and look at it. As soon as I go and start searching it, somebody shot me in the back, and I was like, great.
Yeah.
I even told him, it's a lot of mean things, but I was like, you fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
And then after he killed me, like, I was just like, great. Like, I had just spent all that time. I lost 2 energy weapons that I was pissed about. I lost my Aphelion and my Jupiter, which those are easy to craft. I have a bunch of reactors, but still, though, like, it's every time I got to use one of them, it's like, great. I'm trying to replenish those as I'm taking them.
Yeah,
so, but definitely. It is what it is.
I remember that one time we were playing on Damn Battlegrounds yesterday, same day, yesterday. And we were just like, this random team saw me, they started shooting at me, and I told them I'm friendly. They stopped shooting at me. And then another team just shows up as soon as, because they were like, okay, yeah, they were like, oh yeah, go ahead, go on your way. Like, we're not here to threaten you or anything. I was like, oh yeah, cool. Like, see you guys later. And then like another team shows up, they start shooting at me, and they shoot at me, they down me, and then they start shooting at the guys that were friendly. I was like, oh, you guys are such jerks, and all that stuff. Like, why are we killing people? Like, why are we here PvPing over here? Like, I'm not even doing anything. And then, sure enough, there was like another team that was on the roof. Yep. And then it was just, I don't know what happened there, but there was like 5 teams in that area.
Just PvPing.
And then like the people that were being nice, they're like, oh, that wasn't us shooting. That wasn't totally another team. Like, that wasn't us. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I meet these friendly guys. They let me go. And then another team just like, bah, 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 bah. And then I got down from them. And I was but then it turned into a big old war zone. And I was like, oh, I don't.
And for what? For what reason? What could you possibly have that the other person really wants?
Exactly.
To me, that's stupid.
Because I feel like
it wasn't even a special event. It was just a regular.
I feel because like at the point where we're at now, I feel like a lot of people have a lot more stuff under their inventory. So like when I see people kill people, like others raiders for like just randomly for no reason, like I always say no reason, and it's like, what are you gonna get out of it? I'm pretty sure anything you find in my loadout, you can just craft yourself. Like you didn't gain anything.
No,
it saved you. If anything, you did gain something. You just gained being able to get into another game without having to craft anything. You're just like, oh, cool, I got this gun from the last raid. I can use that for a different, it's the backup plan and all that stuff. But you didn't like gain anything brand new or something like, oh yeah, like this is what I need and all that stuff. Because I feel like at this point, I feel like the majority of people have mostly everything.
Yeah,
I can't say of course, not everything, but I guess I'd say 50%.
Like I'm only missing like 6 or 7 blueprints left out of 77. So, and who knows how many other blueprints are gonna get dropped in this new
So we're
update.
just killing just to kill because it's just again, we're at this point of the game. I'm pretty sure
this week just kind of felt like practice for the new update because I feel like I already know that it's gonna be pretty much everybody killing everybody in the new map until people are gonna try to run around and figure it out first and then start killing. But I think from the get go, it's just gonna be totally.
But I already, it's when the people kill, it's yeah, you get frustrated and stuff. But I know it's part of the game. But then, and that's all I see is. But I feel like there's a lot of people out there that have the same vibe, and they say that they should they I feel like they have been going after devs saying that they should just make a PvE mode, and it's like I don't understand that because it's this is an extraction shooter. So it's yes, I get mad. I wish they weren't killing me and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, that's what we signed up for. So when people are trying to shout at the developers to be like, "Oh, you need a PvE version of the game," and it's but that's not what the game was. The game's a PvP VE game. So when you're trying to make the devs change the game, overhaul the game completely in a different direction to just be PvE, it's now you're doing too much. That's
go play a different game.
Yeah, exactly.
Go play a different game. That's what it comes down to.
But it's again, I get frustrated, but I'm not yelling at the devs to be like, hey, you need to make a PvE mode.
Yeah.
You know, it's if they add it in there as a side thing, that's cool, but don't overhaul a game to completely be a PvE experience because it's it would take away from the identity of what arcraiders started as.
Because if you're doing a PvE, it sort of makes it easier for you to acquire all the blueprints and stuff, which is what you don't want.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna
finish that, you're gonna grant through that game so quick, and then you're just what do I play now?
Yeah, why? It makes it less fun.
Yeah. So
there's no risk and reward with being a PvE game only because there's.
So PvP might get annoying, and sometimes I just want to do PvE, but I'm not trying to say there should just be a PvE mode. That's not the point. That's not the name of the game. So
if you want a PvE, stop killing people. Yeah. Get yourself into a friendly lobby. That's what it comes down to. And I think it takes 5 to 7 games.
10 games.
Yeah, so it's just you go and lose 10 games with 10 free loadouts, and then boom, you're back into your friendly lobbies, and then you can start playing the game how you want to play it.
Yeah.
But the second you fire at somebody, you're in the next set of lobbies.
Pretty much.
So,
but yeah, I wouldn't say that they need to change it to be a PvE only. I feel like it's fine with the PvP, PvE, even if I get frustrated.
It's a good mix. Because there's games where we play and we don't get any action.
Yeah.
And then there's games where we play and it's action every game. So it's hit and miss. It's never just action. We've gone through entire games without ever running into anybody. And I'm just why does it feel like we're the only people on this
surprising, map? The one that I thought we would come into more rares is when we're doing the hurricane run to to get the blueprints.
Yeah.
Every single game we went into was kind of no one really targeted. We weren't really PvP. I think there was a couple games that we had PvP tied to it, but I would expect more PvP during the hurricane and us looking for the raid caches, but we didn't come across that many games that
I think a lot of people that came into those lobbies, they really didn't come in with anything but an augment and a shield. They're just if they're I'm gonna lose everything anyway, so I'm just gonna come in with a safe pocket and then that's it.
So that's definitely was interesting when we're doing that. We didn't get too many action. That's why I kind of I still want those blueprint, the SMG, the new SMG blueprint, but I don't know. I get so bored with the hurricane stuff, just running around, running super slow because if I'm not in the direction of the winds, I'm gonna be running super slow. It does feel kind of cool when you're going against
running with
the wind, and then you're just running super fast. So I wanted the SMG, but at the same time I don't want to do a hurricane, and just for me it's kind of a boring time. I'm just running around finding raider caches, and that's it. Not doing anything else. And I definitely feel it's cool that they have another blueprint to grind for the hurricanes, but I feel they should be moving that blueprint into another way of getting it because I don't want to do hurricane.
Who knows? Maybe they'll move it into the new map.
Maybe, but that would definitely be cool instead of.
We'll find out. I know we're gonna get some bigger, badder weapons in this new update.
I really hope so. I'm pretty sure with the new arc, if it's a big arc, we're definitely gonna get a new legendary weapon.
Yeah,
and I'm hoping it's good because the ones that we have now are okay, but I don't necessarily see myself. Well, altitude does require a reactor, so we don't have that many. But even if I had tons of reactors, I don't think I would be crafting those weapons as much as I probably should because they're legendary weapons. I'd rather be using like the other weapons.
The cheaper
the
one.
Tempest.
The
Tempest.
Yeah, that's a really
the
good
Tempest
weapon.
and Berletta are my go-tos now. Berletta's just so fun. Yeah.
Shoot so fast.
But overall, Arcraiders has been fun. I really hope there's a big change with the new update.
I think so. We're gonna see a resurgence of players again for sure.
I can't wait to see that. Of course, whenever there's a new update, you get a resurgence and stuff, and people coming back because they want to check out the new content and stuff. And then and it feels like, surprisingly, it feels like this update came faster, because I feel like the update before this felt like it took a while to get to the update, but now we're already here a couple days.
A couple weeks later.
Yeah, we're already here. And it's already the 28th when it comes out, and I was just like, it felt like this month actually just kind of flew by, because
it did.
I feel like I waited forever for the last update for arcraiders, and then we're already at the next big update already, and it feels like that was just like that.
I think because the spacing between these two updates is very close, because like the previous update for the
came out on 30th, I think.
Yeah, and then so a month later, because before that there wasn't an update for months.
There wasn't there. Wasn't there an update before that? Yeah, because they had an update every single month.
Really?
Yeah, they had a month. They had an update in January. They had an update in February. And an update in March.
Maybe they just weren't major enough.
They weren't as big.
That's definitely what it is, yeah.
I think the January's first update was kind of big. I think the second one was kind of a smaller update, and I think March had the bigger one, and then of course April had the biggest. March, April.
I think April had the biggest.
Yeah, April had the one, because that's when they introduced the new vaporizers and stuff, and then the new operation, the 2 new weapons.
Yeah.
So we definitely got a lot more in that update, but like the updates before that, I don't think we got as much.
No.
Of a game-changing thing, but I feel like this one's definitely going to be a big update. And then if it's good, I'm definitely excited to see what they're going to have. I wonder if this is. I don't think they have anything else tied to their roadmap after this month, so I don't know if they're gonna like. I hope they probably say that there's enough stuff in here that are gonna be like, we're gonna wait like 3-4 months before we release another update.
Maybe.
Or I don't know. Maybe there is a couple. They're probably gonna do a monthly update.
I think they should continue it with the monthly update, because that'll keep the player count and base up high, especially if players know that the devs every month are making certain changes.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, cool, like they're listening to what we're saying, or maybe
I feel like definitely if the update isn't as big for this one, and there's like only a couple things that get changed with this one, and they're like, okay, you're not gonna get an update till like November. I feel like a lot of people will probably fall off of it after like a couple months. Unless like this like update is like it's gonna make you be like, you know what, I could play this for 3-4 months. But we'll see, because I don't think I saw anything past this month for the roadmap for arcraiders. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna look that up actually. Arcraiders roadmap. But I think other?
It would be smart to continue the monthly updates for this game.
Yeah, that
as long as the player count and base like stays the same and increases, I think they should continue to do it.
Yeah, this is the last update. They don't have anything tied to their roadmap right now, except the Ribbon Tides, which is the one that's coming up next week. So that's going to be interesting.
We'll see.
Hopefully, like I said, I hope there is a good overhaul of stuff, so then I can play this for like 3-4 months, especially if they're not going to be doing like any update, like big updates. So like maybe that's the end of the maybe in like August you'll probably see an update. They'll probably be taking a break during the summer.
Maybe, yeah. I think they should, if they're gonna do an update, it should be just before summer, because obviously, like, kids getting out of school.
So people, that's like the surge to get people to start playing your game, because people are not going to school. People have more free time to themselves.
I will say,
not us people.
I will say, yeah, I know, right? I will say this past update though, they included more items to buy like in the store with like actual money instead of just the currency. So I think whatever, and it's funny, I haven't really seen too many people with those outfits that
are the newer ones that came out
that you could buy in the store like with actual money. I haven't seen any of them.
They're okay. From like the ones that they released there, I was like, I don't think I'll see myself buying any of these.
No, me either. But I figured a lot of people would be copping it because it looks cool. But I haven't yet to run into anybody wearing any of those outfits yet. And I'm just like, oh, maybe a lot of people bought it. Maybe a lot of people did buy it.
I think we're getting some new. We're probably gonna get some new cosmetics 100%. With the new update. So hopefully, if this, like I said, hopefully this is actually a pretty big update. And then I'm like, if it is an actual like pretty big update, I'll be like, you know what, devs, take a couple months off. Like, I'm okay with this.
I just hope that this map is big.
Yeah, definitely
big, and I mean like spread out big.
Yeah,
like,
I don't want another. No, all the maps are surprising, like decent in size. I would say. I don't know. Which map would you say is the smallest one out of all of them?
Stellamontes.
Stellamontes.
It's small, but it's leveled. I will say that every level is small in its own aspect, but I think
that map's infuriating to run through. We played that map so many times. I feel like I still don't know how to get. I
get lost a lot in that map.
I get lost so much in that map.
The two biggest maps for me
I would say Spaceport's probably the biggest one. It's one of the bigger ones.
I think it's big in a sense because it's just wide open and flat. But if we're talking like, for me, it's a toss-up. I think Dam Battlegrounds and Blue Gate are like up there for big.
Big? I don't know. I feel like the more I play Dam Battlegrounds, that one feels like the smaller map.
I say it's bigger just because honestly, there's a lot more traversals.
I give props to the devs that all these maps don't necessarily feel like small. Like they all feel like a good size map because sometimes when you release maps in multiplayer games, they're like super small maps, and you're just like,
big map. I say Blue Gate.
The fact that they were able to, even though we only had one, like how many maps do we have? Stellamontes, Buried City, Dam Battleground, Spaceport,
Blue Gate,
and Blue Gate. 5 maps, and they're all like that size. Mm-hmm. I was like, you know what? I'll give them props. And they actually went out with all 5 maps because usually if you have any game that's a multiplayer and you only have 5 maps, people get bored of them.
Yeah,
because it's just like, oh, there's only 5 maps. But like, I feel like they did a pretty good job having a lot to do or making these maps pretty big and then not as like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they only have 5 maps.
No, I think the map. That's one thing I will say is I have had no issues with like the map design.
Exactly.
I think they're all custom built to like the way like for the setting that it's in or the area, it's perfect. I like Blue Gate only because
Buried City might be the smallest map or smaller map compared to the other ones.
So yeah, Buried because there's not a whole lot of. That's one thing. Like some of these maps have really good underground stuff. Like Blue Gate to me is a really good one because it's got that whole middle section where it's completely underground. So you have 2 different levels of battlefield, and then everything's kind of like on a hill slant. So everything's kind of going up.
Yeah.
And then like you have the downward side, but then you have that middle section where it's all underground.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of places to pop up.
Where Buried City is just all flat. It's all flat
and it's
leveled.
Up. It's flat, but it's up.
Because the only thing that's underground are the
extraction points.
Extraction points. That's pretty much it. But yeah, I would say, you know what? Honestly, I would say Buried City is probably the smaller map, even though it doesn't seem like that.
True. And then like with Dam Battlegrounds, it has that whole underground section that goes all the way to the tower, and it leads all the way from the swamp. So that whole section is pretty like secluded. And then once you go up, you're just like. But then there's levels to it because once you're on top of the dam, then you have like the lower swamp, and then you have the lower end where it's like the red lake. So I think it's a good traversal area. If you're depending on where you spawn, like you'll either have an advantage or a disadvantage.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I'm excited. Definitely excited to see what they do with this one, and maybe after a couple weeks they release another roadmap, or maybe take a couple months off before we get another update.
I think they're gonna let it sit with us for a little bit, maybe like a month before they announce anything.
Yeah,
because like I would hate to be like that kind of like I know we're getting this new map and new arc and new guns. I would hate to just be like, hey, like a month has passed, we're gonna tell you that we're dropping more stuff in a couple months. So it's like let enjoy and sink in a little bit. Once we've kind of had our feel for it, then be like, hey. Yeah. Like prepare for this because we're dropping this.
When you think of the update, technically, I guess there's decent updates, but I think when did the game come out originally? In like September?
Dude, last year. I know I wasn't playing it when it first dropped.
For September, I guess you got to give it to them that we're getting like an update every single month because I think if the game came out in September, I could be wrong, or October, maybe one of those. They had to wait, I think, 2 months. If it was September, they had to wait 3 months before an update because I think they didn't do a big update until December.
Which is when we started playing.
Which is a little bit after we started playing. Let's see. When did Arcraiders come out originally? Arcraiders release date. Let's see. Came out on October 30th.
Oh, Halloween.
So they had like a month and a half of no content because I think the big update wasn't until December, like the mid of December.
So 2 months.
Yeah, almost 2 months. Yeah, October, November.
That's not bad.
December. So the fact that we got one every single month, you know what? Honestly, I gotta give them props. You don't be getting updates that frequently.
And it was a $40 game.
Yeah, and a $40 game, and I got an update every single month for this year.
There's AAA titles that won't even do that.
Nope, exactly. Or yeah. Like, unfortunately, like, even though, like, I still enjoy Marathon, but I haven't played as much. But, like, even with their roadmap, there's, like, been a couple changes. But I think the next big update's not till, like, I think next month or something like that. So there's content there, but not as, there wasn't one every single month. So the fact that arcraiders was like, you know what, let's give you something every single month. So even though we want to say, the update was kind of small, and so it's like, but you got something every single month. So it's like, in a way, it's like I can't really be too upset at what we got, because again, like you say, most devs don't even give you
and we're not
every single month something new,
and we're not even paying for these updates either.
Exactly.
So that's kind of like, hey, like they're just trying to keep the player base alive, and that's what I like about this game. It's not very it's not pay to win. It's not pay to have a good time. You're just getting cosmetics, which just makes you look cool. Doesn't give you no benefits or anything. But I will say, with some of these cosmetics, they kind of turn you into a target a little bit, because depending on the clothing option, they're either going to stick out like a sore thumb, or you're going to blend in with the environment.
Yeah.
So there's some people that rock an all gold outfit, and I'm like, I could easily see you from across wherever I'm at, just based on the color. I will say, the lighting and ray tracing in this game, you could see colors very well and at a distance. You're wearing red, I could see it. Because most of these maps are
map awareness.
Yeah, most of these maps are very very gritty colors. Like Damn Battlegrounds is very like brownish tones with grays.
Yeah.
So you're wearing a brighter color, it sticks out.
Yeah.
That Blue Gate, it's very green, brown, and like grayish tones. So like anything that's not in that color wheel, you sort of stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just depends. Like, I think you got to be conscious of what you wear out there. I mean, you could look cool, but at the same time, you're just like, oh, I could see that guy walking across me from a mile away, like easily spottable.
So again, Embark, we appreciate the stuff that you've been giving us every single month. So keep up the good work, and it's been keeping us entertained. I probably haven't been playing it as much, but at the end of the day, I gotta cheers to you guys for keeping it fresh, and keeping us engaged with the everything that can, with every time something comes out. And like I said, most devs don't even do monthly content. You have to wait maybe a couple months before some stuff. So the fact they were able to do something every single month,
props to you.
I know, props to the Embark team. I think that's a good way to like end our arcraiders talk. Not too much again, but I definitely you're definitely gonna hear a lot of talk about arcraiders next week with the new update. I'll definitely end up, of course, playing it. I'm not gonna, because I'm definitely gonna, unfortunately, have to be at work, and then I'm like, oh, I'm just waiting for the update, but I can't, because I gotta get through work and then come home.
Might call out. No, I'm just
I know,
right? Not feeling it, Mr. Krabs.
Not feeling it. I must stay home.
But on the next topic of things,
let's move on to our main topic for today. We're going to be revisiting some of our MCU Phase 2 stuff, because again, I feel like we didn't talk too much. We talked about it, but we kind of glossed over things. So I feel like we should be doing another talk about it, just our different takes and stuff, because I just rewatched the movie, so I have a lot more to say, because again, I didn't remember any of the post credits. I didn't remember some of the details that were in these movies, and I think it's just a good way to close out MCU Phase before we get into the big one, which is the climax area, which is Phase 3. So we'll be diving into that later on a little bit more with Phase 3, but I feel like we're gonna do a nice little proper send off with MCU Phase 2. We actually do have a quiz for today, which I ended up doing thanks to I did use Gemini for this one, which is kind of cool, because I did not realize that Gemini would make me a whole interactive quiz that tells you how many you got right, how many you got wrong, and then multiple choice and stuff. So I figured, you know what? Let's use this for the podcast and see how well we know about the MCU Phase 2. So let me pull this up. I think this is a good way to start off before we go into some of our final thoughts about MCU Phase 2. But let's get into this.
You're gonna ask me the questions first?
I'm gonna ask the question, because I get to select the answer. I don't know any of the answers for any of these, so the same time I'll be finding out this answer, the same time you'll be finding out what the answer is. But yeah, let's dive into this.
So you should quiz me then.
Well, we quiz each other. We can both. The question is going to be directed to both of us.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, because it has it in multiple choice, and I haven't done the quiz itself, so pretty much I'm going to be trying to guess what the answer is as well. So let's dive into this. So this is Iron Man 3. What is the name of the project developed by Aldrich Killian that uses the nanotechnology to repair damaged DNA?
Oh, damn. What are my options?
Here are your options. These are our options. It's A Nebula, B Extremis, C the Centipede Project, or D Project Insight.
It's B Extremis.
That's what I was thinking too, because I think it's like it has to tie into like, which is kind of funny because I think I'm pretty sure that's the correct answer. But like, if that's the name, it's like very on point because they're like, I didn't know they were bad guys, and so it's like they're called extremists. So I don't know. I don't think that's necessarily a nice name to have.
No, I think it's extremis.
All right, I'll go B. Yep, that was correct. Extremis. Which is funny.
Next question.
All right, next question. All right. All right. Which Infinity Stone is contained within the Aether during the events of the Thor: The Dark Worlds?
Oh, I know that.
So it's A, the Space Stone, B, the Power Stone, C, the Reality Stone, and D, the Mind Stone. So
I'm gonna pick.
I think we should take I think we should. Because then I feel like because you say C, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, you know what, it's C as well.
Well, don't agree with me. I could be wrong. Okay, fine. You go with what you think, and then
how about this? I'll say the questions and stuff, and then we'll give
it, and then I'll answer it because you're on the phone, so you can click the answer, and then if you get it right or wrong, you'll be able to tell me if my answer is right or wrong. So
it's the Space Stone, Power Stone, the Reality Stone, the Mind Stone, and it's funny because I actually thought this was the Power Stone, but then we did talk about this, and then we're like, oh no, it's actually the Reality Stone. I was like, oh, I don't know. Red feels kind of on par with like the Power Stone type of name. So
I think purple is more of a stronger color because like royal purple is meant for royalty, so therefore Power Stone.
That's what I think. So I think I'll say the question, and I think we'll lock in we'll take a second to lock in our answers, and then we'll say it at the same time. So I'll say A or B. So yeah, all right. So in Captain America: The Winter Soldier, who is revealed to be the high-ranking Shield official secretly working for Hydra? Ooh, this is actually a pretty good one.
One of my options.
We have A, Maria Hill, B, Brock Rumlow, C, Alexander Pierce, D, Jasper Sitwell. All right. Those are your choices. We'll take a second, and then we will say our answers of what we think it is going to be.
Well, tell me when you have your answer, and then read off the question. Read off the names again for me.
All right. So again, it's A, Maria Hill, B, Brock Rumlow, C, Alexander Pierce, D, Jasper Sitwell.
Okay, I'm ready.
I want to say. All right. I think I have it locked in. I think it's this one. So, all right. We'll do 3, 2, 1. I say
C.
D.
Ooh, okay. Let's see.
So
you pick which. Well, so you pick your answer, and then
I'll pick my answer. Oh no, you were correct, Alexander Pierce. I thought it was Sitwell for some reason because in that movie they go off to him and then he tells them about what they're working on and stuff. So that's why I thought
the last name was what gave it away for me. I remembered the.
Then Pierce is I remember is the other. He's the higher up. He's just he's the lackey. The one I'm thinking about is the lackey, and then he's the one that has the meeting with them. Yeah. Okay. So there you go.
Oh,
I think that was a good way to do it. So we'll think the answer, lock it in. 3, 2, 1, and then we'll say our answer at the same time. So you were correct. Good on you. What is the name? What is the name of the prison from which the Guardians of the Galaxies escape? A, it's Contraxia. B, Xander. C, the Raft, and then D, the Kylin. It's actually kind of a tough one because I watched Guardians
I
super
know
late.
This one already.
All right, 3, 2, 1. I say
C.
A. Oh, you're gonna say C? The Raft. All right. I will select your answer. And we were both wrong, actually. It was the Kylin, apparently.
Really?
Is the name of the prison. All right, there you go.
Okay.
All right, cool.
I really thought it was. What's the raft then?
The RAF is the underwater prison for the enhanced individuals introduced in Captain America: Civil War.
That's right.
So that's Phase 3 talk.
Yeah, that's cool though. That's a good mix-up.
Yeah, I like how they give you. I really like the way they do this little cool thing because they give you the different answers and then it tells you the details about the answers. So then this one says the Katan is the high security Nova Corps prison where the core members of the Guardians first met.
Nice.
Which is kind of funny when I think about it because we didn't talk about that. But they're like, because everyone has their own stories, but they were pretty much all prisoners, and then they became a team.
They're all screw-ups.
They were all forced to work with each other.
Yeah,
because they were all both in all four of them were in prison. All right, that's question number 4. All right, we go into question number 5. In the Avengers: Age of Ultron, what is the name of the fictional African nation where the Avengers battled the Hulk and Ultron? This one's easy. I don't even need to say the answers, but A, it's Sokovia. B, Wakanda. C, Wakanda border. And then D, Johannesburg. 3, 2, 1. B.
Wakanda.
Yeah.
B.
Imagine if it's incorrect. And we're actually
border.
Wrong. Yeah. That's weird. It's considered the Wakanda border.
Okay.
Because technically they're like on the border. They're not actually in Wakanda. They're in the border before they even enter into Wakanda. So it's like 2 different locations because they're not directly in Wakanda. I don't know about that. I'll say that one's correct for both of us.
That's a little wordplay.
That's a weird way to set up that question. But here, this is why it gives. This is like the the detail. It says while vibranium comes from Wakanda, the specific shipyard battle took place in a different location. Because it is asking where they battle Hulk and Ultron. They don't battle Hulk and Ultron in Wakanda. They do it border Wakanda. Okay, so you know what? Now that I think about it, that makes more sense. Because they weren't in Wakanda. That doesn't get introduced till he gets his movie.
Civil War. Oh, yeah, you're right. They talk about it in Civil War, but until he gets his movie.
And then this one is Wakanda border. Why it's the right answer is the shipyard battle where Clow is introduced occurs in the salvage yard of the African coast near Wakanda. That's when they try to go talk. They're like, oh, you know someone in Wakanda. And they're like, what's Wakanda or something? Or like, it's where all the vibranium comes from. And they're like, oh, I know a guy. And then that's when they introduce Andy Serkis's character. Ah, okay, cool.
AKA Schmeagol.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So now I think about it.
That's
you know what? I'm gonna say that as wrong because
yeah.
So that it counts as wrong. So it will see. All right. Next question. Which character does Scott Lang steal the Ant-Man suit from in his debut film? A. Howard Stark. B. Hank Pym. C. Darren Cross. D. Luis. I think Luis is his friend.
Yeah.
Man. Okay. Ooh. Wait, no.
Say it again. Who are the names?
Which character does Scott Lang steal the Ant-Man suit from in his debut film?
Mm-hmm.
A. Howard Stark. B. Hank Pym. C. Darren Cross. D. Luis.
I know my answer.
I feel like I'm gonna get this one wrong. All right. 3, 2, 1. A.
B.
Oh, that's what I was thinking. I was like, that's the other answer, but I don't. He doesn't. Let's find out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's correct. No, you're right.
Yep.
I was thinking because like I think because I always see them as like they already know each other, but I forget he like
Scott goes to his house to steal something from his vault. And he swipes the suit, not knowing what it is.
Ah, see,
yeah.
See.
Howard Stark.
I don't know why I said
Howard Stark was protecting Pym when he leaves Shield.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it says, Hank Pym, the original Ant-Man, orchestrated the theft to recruit Scott to help him.
Correct.
Okay, cool. Yes. All right, I was wrong on that one. I feel dumb that I didn't just say Hank. I was like, that just seems like the obvious answer.
I was like the
so
Pym,
like, you know
Pym
what?
particle, like the most.
Yeah, I know that. Like, I know the odd things, but I thought that was too obvious an answer. So I was like thinking, oh, it's Howard Stark.
It's the same thing.
I want to be different.
It's the same thing with that Wakanda question. The obvious answer was not the obvious one.
I'm built different. I said Howard Stark. All right, that's
next question.
Point to you. What is the name of the artificial intelligence created by Tony Stark and Bruce Banner that precedes Ultron? A. Edith. B. The Ultron Project. C. Friday. Or D. Jarvis.
Oh, I know this one.
Ooh, I want to say it. the normal obvious answer, but I feel like it's not going to be that one. But then I'm going to be like getting it wrong again.
Read me the question one more time.
What is the name of the artificial intelligence created by Tony Stark and Bruce Banner that precedes Ultron? And then it's A, Edith, B, the Ultron program, C, Friday, or D, Jarvis?
I have my answer.
Ooh. I'm going to say, okay, I'll lock in. We'll see how. I was watching that movie just right now too, but I just said might have not gotten to that part, or else I would have remembered it. All right, 3, 2, 1. I say C. D. You say C?
C.
Friday? Yeah, you were correct. No, it was actually called the Ultron program. You were actually wrong.
Really?
It's called the Ultron program. The Ultron program was the intended goal, but the initial successful AI result was Ultron himself. Friday was the replacement of AI Stark used after Jarvis became part of Vision.
Right. Okay.
Oh, I really like these little breakdowns. It's kind of cool because then it gives me a little tidbit about the MCU with these little.
I've missed 3 so far.
Yeah. All right. That's none of us got that one, so no point to any of us. All right. Next question. We're on question 8. In Guardians of the Galaxy, what group does Peter Quill belong to at the beginning of the movie? I already know this one.
Yeah.
A, the Sicarians. B, the Nova Corps. C, the Sovereign. D, the Ravagers. Do we need to take a second? 3, 2, 1. D.
The Ravagers.
Yeah.
That was a good
Such
one.
a sick ass name.
It
Ravagers. Cool. Quill was abducted by the Ravagers as a child and was raised as a member of Yondu's faction. Daddy. Or Mary Poppins. I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Is he cool?
That's my favorite line.
Hell yeah, he's cool.
Yeah, that guy's cool. It's so funny because wasn't it Kurt Russell that was his dad in that movie? Wasn't it Kurt Russell?
Yes.
It's kind of funny coming off of that movie, and he's like the villain. He's like a superhero. Because like I think about Kurt Russell, Sky High. You know that movie?
Yes.
And he's like the good dad. He's like strong, and it's kind of funny seeing like the direct opposite of what he was in Sky High.
He plays a good bad guy.
But yeah, that was a fun one.
Cool. Both got that one.
Yeah. All right. Question 9. What is the name of Sam Wilson's military project that gives him his flight capabilities?
Ooh.
This one is A, Project Rebirth. B, the Quinjet. C, Vulture Tech. D, X-07 Falcon.
I think that's the obvious one.
All right.
Yeah.
We lock in? All right. 3, 2, 1. I say D.
Yeah.
Yep, the X-07 Falcon is a specialized wing jetpack used by Sam Wilson in pararescue missions. I kind of want to. Can I click these other answers? Oh no, he doesn't let me show. Because I was like, I want to click these other answers.
Well, the Quinjet's obvious because
but it would have been cool to. I want to see what kind of little story lore that they would have given us with this question. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, X-07, we both got that right. Point to both of us. All right, this is the last question of this quiz. Who is the primary antagonist of Ant-Man? A, Darren Cross. B, Ghost. C, Justin Hammer. D, Sony Birch. Ooh.
I know this
I think I know this one. All right. 3, 2, 1.
A.
Yeah, so I was thinking to A. I thought you were going to say Ghost for a second.
No.
She's not till the second movie.
I know.
Yep, we were right. Cross sought to weaponize Pin's shrinking technology and became the villain Yellow Jacket.
Yeah,
which was a fun. That was a fun villain. Nothing too crazy, but I did like his suit. It would have been cool to see more of Yellow Jacket. But like you said, we've talked about this. It seems like they introduce these villains, but then they kind of kill them off in that same movie.
I know he comes back in like Phase. What is it? 4?
Oh yeah, he's MODOK. He's MODOK, and
which I think they did a disservice to him.
Which I think was kind of dumb.
Yeah,
but MODOK is a dumb, silly character, so it kind of.
But they could have made it better than the way they did it, though.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely Yellow Jack's suits. It would have been cool to see some more of these like villains across multiple projects, maybe.
Yeah.
Instead of just getting them a one-off and then be like, all right, on to the next thing. So it would definitely be cool. But that's the quiz. I
missed 3.
Yeah, I don't even remember how many I got right. I should have been keeping count. We're about to review the video so I can know how many I got correct.
It's all good.
Yeah, I think the next time we should do. They were suggesting when I was doing like the outlines, like if you do this quiz, you should probably be like whoever wins has to do like some type of challenge or something like that. And the person that wins gets to choose that, and then the person who loses has to do it. I was like, we should probably add some stakes to another quiz later on. And all right, well, we just set up the points and everything like that. It ended up being 5-7. So our winner over here is Jordan, because I decided to take not the obvious answer and got some wrong that I should have got incorrect.
There's a few I should have picked that I was like sure on, and I
7-5.
Doubt myself.
That was it. It would have been cool if I would have got 6, you would have got 7, so then we could have did 6, 7.
Jesus.
We still did it anyways. No, it wasn't 6, 7, but that would have been better if it did that 6, 7.
I'm actually kind of impressed with myself. I haven't watched any of Phase 2 in quite some time, so the fact that I still remember most of those answers.
Yeah, but back to the school quiz. I did this through the Gemini AI for like this quiz, and it's really cool. They give us like little interactive why it's that correct answer, and if we got it wrong, it tells us like what it is. So I really like this. We might if we do future quizzes in future podcasts, I might use this to make us some quizzes. Definitely fun. So yeah, that was our short little quiz as we dive back into like our initial thoughts for MCU Phase 2 before we start into our Phase 3 talk. So yeah, let's dive in. I think we already talked about Iron Man and Thor, so I don't think we really need to dive in too much. I think the only thing I would take away, put back into for Thor Dark World, it does set up a future project, which is Ragnarok, because we were trying to say in the last podcast, we were saying like, it doesn't really set up anything, it kind of just introduces the stone. And I was like, no, and actually after me watching it, I was like, oh no, it totally sets up Ragnarok, which we'll talk about, which is probably one of my favorite Thor movies.
Because I totally forgot at the end of, I think it's at the end of Dark
World?
Dark World. Loki takes the place of Odin.
Yeah,
and then Ragnarok picks up where he comes home and he's like, you're not dad. Like, I can already tell you're not my father.
Yeah, so
that's kind of,
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
But after watching it, because we were kind of downplaying, I was kind of down. No. Yeah, we were kind of downplaying, I guess, Dark World. And after rewatching, that was actually a pretty good movie, honestly. I think I might like it a little bit more than Iron Man 3. Like, I still enjoyed Iron Man 3, especially just like his growth and everything. But honestly, after coming off of Iron Man, going to Thor, I actually kind of like Thor more than Iron Man. Like, Thor felt very Space Odyssey. You got a lot more Loki. It takes place as like literally right after Avengers, because it starts with him taking Loki as he arrests him to his father Odin. Pretty much, that's pretty much how it starts off, and then you get set everything into motion for that movie. But that one was great. I enjoyed that movie. I definitely, watching it back, I forget how much I enjoyed Jane Foster and Thor's like dynamic. Like, that. Like, he's like a god, but like she kind of like still keeps him grounded and makes him like, no, you're gonna get slapped like everyone else, because I think he finally comes back, and then she's like, bah, I just wanted to be sure, and then he's like, oh well, it is me, and then she slaps him again. That's for not coming back. And I was like, it's just so down. Like, that. Who can say that they slapped a god?
True.
She did.
One of the scenes in that movie I did like was when Thor goes with Selvig, the other doctor, and he takes him to that pool somewhere, and then he has that vision.
Yeah.
And he has the vision.
That was Ultron. Yeah, that was Ultron. That happened in Ultron. I just saw that scene right now too.
Was it? Yeah.
It was in Ultron.
Okay, so I'm thinking of the wrong.
Because they have Selvig in Thor, but he's like recovering from the last one, because he was the whole reason everything got set into motion in Avengers. So then he actually ends up in a psychiatric ward, and then Darcy and I think Jane both pull him out with the intern, and the intern like just starts his first day, and then he's already having like to go be like, oh yeah, Selvig's my father, so they could take him out or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, here's his stuff and everything, and then he's just playing along. I was like, he must have had. That's funny, as an intern, he just thinks it's gonna be work and everything, and then ends up being like, oh no, we're gonna sneak this guy out, so you're gonna say he's his father. You're his son. So definitely fun, and like just going through that movie, and I forget how fun Darcy is in that movie as well. Just she brings like the comedic value to it. Like, there was like one little fun part where I think she kisses the intern, and then she teleports in front of Jane, and then Jane's like, Darcy, and then Darcy's like, Jane, after and then the hammer swings by, and then Darcy's like, Mjolnir. It was just a fun little interaction, because Mjolnir's like floating, trying to catch back to Thor, and like that whole fight was actually kind of cool, because it has to deal with like the portals and everything. So like Thor's like fighting the threat, I already forgot his name, but like through the portal, so like they're fighting in different areas.
Are they called the Dark Elves or something?
Yeah, Dark Elves. I totally forgot that they got introduced in that movie. So Dark Elves.
And that's the only time we see them. We don't really have, this is kind of a bummer. again, killing off bad guys and never seeing them again, which is kind of a.
But honestly, after watching that movie, I actually really enjoyed that one. I would say it's a step up from Iron Man 3. And then we dive into like Winter Soldier, which we talked about briefly, and I did call it the overrated movie.
It's one of my favorites.
It still is, even though I just watched it and it was a good movie.
Yeah.
But what I like about that movie after rewatching it, it does set up a lot of Ultron stuff.
Oh yeah.
Because it heavily dives into that because they find like that they find that Shield.
Fall of Shield, Hydra.
Fall of Shield because Hydra took over. And apparently I didn't know that, but in Agents of Shield, Agents of Shield actually starts that whole storyline that Hydra's working in Shield. So Shield Agents of Shield actually sets that up. So that was kind of cool that show actually connects back to the storyline of Winter Soldier, but it still stands on its own.
Yeah.
And it introduces like the old doctor that was from the original Captain America.
Dr. Zola.
Yeah, Dr. Zola.
That was cool to see a familiar face from the past on that one.
Yeah. And definitely another movie. I feel like the first 3 movies are very much character growth, character driven, because like Thor's a different person now. Like Odin's like trying to put him as like, oh, you're the heir of the king to be the king, and then Thor's like, I don't know if I necessarily want that.
Yeah,
like you can definitely feel the shift from the first movie. So I feel like these 3 movies definitely dive deeper into like their stuff outside of the Avengers, like Captain America dealing with all that time that he lost. Now, having to see an old Peggy, which is like that should probably hit hard. Like if you were dealing with that, like you saw this person at a young age, and then somehow you get frozen in time, and then you get to see her, and you get to see her as she's dying. Like she's slowly fading into nothing. And you're just like, I didn't get to like have this time, all that time that you lost with her. So yeah, it definitely hits hard for like Captain America having to still adjust, even though he's like the leader of the Avengers, still having to adjust with his own things.
But it's cool to see
things from the past.
It's cool to see him kind of integrate with society.
Yeah,
I do like it when he goes to visit that museum and it's got like his old team, his uniform.
Yeah, but I bet you that like that whole scene, like as if you're in Captain America's where like just hits you like super hard.
I do like it though when the kid sees him, he's like keep quiet.
We'll beat the shit out. He definitely got a little bit more of a Black Widow in this one, which is cool. I definitely feel like I said in the last podcast, I definitely feel like they should have made her. We do get her own movie, but it takes place after Civil War. It takes place after Civil War. I definitely feel like this phase would have been perfect to give us a Black Widow movie.
Yeah, 100%.
So that would have been cool to see. Like you still get a good amount of screen time with her, but it would have been cool to see more of character growth with her getting her own movie.
Yeah. And then the fact that Bucky was the Winter Soldier.
I love Bucky. Bucky's such an edgelord. I love him.
Yeah,
that's the one thing I do like about that. Like
that whole fight scene.
Yeah, I would say he's a villain.
Yeah.
I like him as the villain.
Brainwashed. He's not like an actual villain. Let's get that straight.
Nah, he's a villain.
But that whole scene where they're on the freeway and then they both are going at it on the street, I was like, that is badass.
Yeah.
I was not any way, shape, or form expecting Bucky to be the Winter Soldier. I was thinking it's gonna be some off-brand bad dude, and then it turns out best friend.
I think because I knew a little bit about Captain America going into like the first one, but they introduced Bucky in that one, and I think I remember it's like Bucky. And I was like, wait, that name sounds familiar. And before they even announced Winter Soldier, I was like, wait, I think he becomes the Winter Soldier in like the comics and all that stuff. So when I saw Winter Soldier, I was like, oh, they're doing the storyline. Like that's cool because I didn't know that was the Captain America movie we were gonna get. But like when they name dropped him in the first movie, I was like, oh yeah, I think he becomes Winter Soldier later on.
I didn't know that, so when I first saw it, I was like, what? Like he's alive? And then I do love like the lore background. It goes into him like he was picked up, they fixed him up, they tortured him, they brainwashed him to do all this stuff. And I do like how they sort of cover like he's the guy behind the scenes that's making all these events happen by killing certain people, and then they put him back into sleep.
My favorite part, because they even do it in like the trailer, which made me like kind of get more excited about Winter Soldier, is when they do the trailer, and Captain America throws his shield, and then Bucky looks back and grabs it. I was like, I forgot how sick that scene, because I remember in the trailer when I saw it, I was like, that guy just caught his shield with his own hand.
The whole metal arm was badass.
Yeah,
I was like, that's
Bucky.
So sick.
I definitely do like that movie. As I rewatched the introduction of Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
and you get to. I feel like you think he was a side character when you first like see this movie, but then like as you get to the future projects, you get you see a lot more. You get to see a lot more character growth with them, which I think I still like about the newer projects is that they definitely develop more about Bucky, where he started off and where he's at now. because now he's part of the Thunderbolts. So there's a lot of character growth for that character.
I'm a little sad that they didn't give him to carry the torch as a Captain America, because in the comic books, when he becomes Captain America, I think he does a phenomenal job.
I totally forgot about that.
Not to say that Sam taking over as Captain America was bad. I just think that like there was a missed opportunity. I think the Winter Soldier character is way more popular than the Falcon taking over. So I think
I think that's why they wanted to make him Captain America, because they wanted a character, like you said, Falcon's not like as big of a character as compared to Winter Soldier. So they were like, let's make Falcon stand out on his own. So then that's why they probably passed the torch to him, because to make him stand out.
Because he's not a super soldier. That's the problem with him not being Captain America, not a super soldier. Because it's like Bucky Barnes is a super soldier. Like it only makes sense that you make him the next Captain America. And then I think they kind of missed the mark too with having that other guy play as Captain America. I forget what his name is. He's the one that kills that dude in
Thunderbolts. That Captain America, the douchebag on Captain America.
I think they missed the mark with that one. I think they should have totally ixnayed that, skipped that, and just give the torch over to either Sam or
but it actually wasn't them passing the torch to that guy. It was more the government deciding like, hey, we need someone to protect us because Captain America is no longer here. Let's get this guy that is not the same as Captain America, but let's make this decision ourselves because we need someone that's like Captain America in our ranks or whatever. So it's more of a government decision, I feel like.
Yeah.
And I definitely feel like after watching that, definitely feel like I should be watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier series, because I did watch like the first episode and stuff. So definitely feel like, because that's where all that gets set up.
Yeah,
is in that movie.
I did not watch that series.
Definitely,
but I watched before I went to go see the Thunderbolts. I just watched the highlights of it, the important things to know before you go. And there really wasn't anything you needed to know from that series going into the Thunderbolts. The only thing you really needed to know is the fact that he murdered somebody in the streets and everybody saw it, and that's why they kind of dethroned him as Captain America.
I think it's more of like I guess, I don't know how you would say it, but like the situation, like the growth of where we get to like in the later situations. And I feel like that movie, it's a lot more political, I guess I would say. I didn't watch it all, so I can't say that, but I definitely feel like it's more on the political side of things with the series. But we'll dive into that when we get into that later phase, which is not till like after Infinity War, of course.
But I do like in the Winter Soldier that kind of Bucky sort of comes to like realizing that like, hey,
because he uses that line.
Steve Rogers is my friend, and then like he doesn't kill him on the spot, which I think is cool.
And Steve Rogers uses that line because he's like, oh, it's like it's you and me until the end of the line or something like that, which is a line that Bucky used on him when he was like still the scrawny dude before he turned into the super soldier, and that's what triggers Bucky.
Oh yeah,
but it definitely sees more character growth with Captain America, which I liked, and then of course I totally forgot that Sam Wilson gets introduced in that movie, and it's kind of cool. He's just like a regular guy that just was jogging at the same time as Captain America, as Captain America, and then they slowly become friends because he takes them in because they become fugitives at the end because Hydra takes over, and then they're like, everyone after Captain America, he's the one that killed Nick Fury, and all that stuff, or he knows something that we don't know, and Sam Wilson's like, yeah, come to my house, I'll take care of you guys. He does. So definitely kind of cool that you get like that introduction to him, and you see that, oh, this is a friendship building up.
Yeah.
And like
Sam Wilson kind of becomes like the Bucky stand-in for
the newer Bucky for him, while Bucky's still trying to figure out his own stuff. And then like even when at the end when he's like, you're gonna go after him, aren't you? And then he's like, yeah, I am. And then Sam Wilson's like kind of already sounds like he's a ride or die for him.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm coming with you. I was like, huh. They became friends really quick. But it's kind of nice to see that, because then it kind of makes me see Falcon in a different light now after seeing this movie, because I totally forgot he was in that movie.
And I kind of like how they do kill off Nick Fury, sorta, until we find out he's alive, which I think is perfect for his character, because like him being behind the shadows and everybody thinking he's dead is perfect, because he thrives in the secrecy spotlight pretty much for him.
Yeah, so diving into that,
And then and then Ant-Man. We gotta talk about Ant-Man. We didn't really. What was after Winter Soldier?
Guardians.
Oh wait, no, it was Ultron.
Yeah, it was Guardians.
Was it?
Guardians. Okay. It was Guardians, and then it was Age of Ultron,
and then Ant-Man,
So the thing is, we didn't talk too much about Ant-Man. We'll get there, but also too, I feel like Guardians being in this phase, I don't know. Like I was thinking about this earlier. I was like, I don't know. I feel like Guardians shouldn't have been in this phase because like it introduces like the stuff for Infinity War, but it doesn't really add anything to like the setup for Ultron. Like I
No,
feel like
yeah.
what the first three movies do kind of do set up in that direction for Ultron, but like at Guardians, I feel like it's definitely like they knew the Avengers movie was coming, so they're like, here's a filler to fill up the spot before we release the big movie, which is Avengers. So not saying it's a bad movie, not at all. I just feel like it could have been probably in a like phase 3 type of thing.
For me, I think it was kind of like we're starting to dip our toes into the idea of seeing
like
a little bit
more a little bit stuff.
Yeah, a little bit more of the Thanos side of things because it's like we see his two daughters. We see him with Ronan the Destroyer. He gave him the Power Stone to wipe out this planet.
Oh, I totally forgot that.
And then
those characters because they play a big part in Infinity War.
Correct, yeah. And then also we see the Collector who is holding the stone at the end of it. So I think it's a good stepping stone into heading towards that direction of like maybe Thanos. You see more of what his plan is about.
Like I definitely feel like it. I'm not saying it doesn't set up anything, but I feel like it would have been better suited in phase like 3. Because like we were saying, because you know how like in phase 1 they do Iron Man 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So like I feel like that particular movie could have been in phase 3 because it's setting up like the Thanos side of things because it's like his daughter, like he's just had all those characters and everything. And I feel like they could have put the Guardians in like phase 3 and made it like one of the earlier projects, and then do Guardians 2 later on after they do a couple more projects, and then reach into Infinity War. So like I just feel like it would have been better suited in a phase 3 instead of this phase 2, and we could have probably instead of getting the Guardians movie, I feel like we could have gotten the Black Widow.
I think the reasoning behind the Guardians being in phase 2 instead of 2 of them in phase 3 is a test. Because nobody knew who the Guardians of the Galaxy were until this movie came out. Yes, they're in the comic books. They don't play such a serious role in the comics. They're there to help and aid. I feel like James Gunn utilized them in a different way where they're more important to like the franchise because this is a team that not very many people know of or recognize a whole lot. So he turned an unpopular team into a very popular team.
Like I said, not saying to take it out completely out of the MCU, but I just feel like it could have been better ordered into like a phase 3. Would have been I feel like it would have suited better for that. And like I said, we could have got some of the other, honestly, because of the players that we have in Avengers Age of Ultron, I feel like we could have gotten maybe a Hulk movie, a full Hulk movie, a full Black Widow movie, like one of those characters, maybe even a Hawkeye movie, like one of those characters that are part of the Ultron like storyline, like the Avengers. Those would have been, I feel like, would have been cooler instead of getting a Guardians movie, and we could have gotten the Guardians movie for the next phase. I feel like would have been cooler.
I could see it, but you got to remember this is the first movie that's not on Earth.
Yeah, I know that.
Well, I'm sorry, it's not because Thor takes place off of Earth, but it's the first one that sort of introduces the like. There's outside of the galaxy. There's more
than outside forces.
Correct. Yeah. So I think this movie is just sort of. It's a testing grounds movie for like the audience. Like, hey,
I think because they already knew what the direction they were going to go with Infinity War or with the Phase 3, so I figured then like that probably makes more sense is that they put Guardians in there because like, well, we're gonna introduce these heavily in the next phase, so we want to, like you said, test the waters in this one, so because that's what they're going to be expecting for the next phase. A lot of that more type of Celestials added goodness into it. So you know what, I could see that.
And I think because we need to see them as a team, so this is just sort of a building blocks movie for this team. Obviously, like towards the end of it, you see that they become such a great team. So it's cool to see that. And then obviously later on in the next phase, like we see like the kind of team that they are and what they bring to the table, which is good. You know, because obviously, like one of the team members is obviously like killed off and then brought back. So,
well, I feel like their tagline should be the Space Avengers. So the ones that take care of things in space, and then the Avengers take care of things on Earth. So the Space Avengers.
Well, that's what Captain Marvel's supposed to be, but we didn't utilize her at all.
Yeah, that's why I said when I was talking about it earlier, I was like, I feel like they should have utilized her in MCU just in general before we got to Infinity War instead of just putting her as a side character and then giving us a prequel movie.
Yeah, because in the comics, she could single-handedly take out Thanos.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
I mean, she literally took a punch to the face and was just standing
there. When I was looking at the phases, and there was like taglines for each movie, kind of like a quick little one-liner to describe the movie, and then it said under Captain Marvel's movie, it literally said, world's strongest MCU character or something like that. And I was like, I don't see that. I don't see any of that, so... It's kind of weird that they say she is the strongest character or one of the strongest characters in Marvel, and it's tagged as that in the MCU, but I don't really see that strong side of her.
Nerf.
I know. Nerf this.
Yeah. But I think overall the Guardians movies are really good.
Oh yeah, they're great.
It's a good fundamental like family movie. Like, because
is it the family movie?
I mean, yes and no, because it's goofy in its own way, but it's also serious in its own way as well. Like, I feel like these are characters that were meant to be like, you're supposed to kind of grow with them a little bit and love them, because they all come from different backgrounds they all have a sad.
I feel like all the teams are like that. It's like they all come from different backgrounds.
That's the thing about the Guardians. They all have some sort of sad upbringing. Like, Peter Quill's his mother was dying and he couldn't bear to see her die, so he left and he was abducted.
Yeah.
Gamora, her
dad's Thanos.
Her planet was slaughtered by Thanos, and he abducted her because he just, I don't know, liked her.
Yeah. He was like,
Drax, entire family slaughtered by Thanos as well.
Yeah.
Rocket Raccoon, experimented and tortured on, torn apart, put back together. The only person we don't get the upbringing on is Groot. We don't know anything about Groot other than he's just a side character for Rocket.
All you need to know is Vin Diesel.
I am Groot. Groot. Granted, there's really not much we could do about that. Like, what could we learn?
I know what could you do for a project for Groot? Couldn't.
I just think he's meant to be there to be loved.
He's definitely meant to be the side character, which I feel like Hulk falls into that category, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like a bigger character, but he falls into like the Groot lines. Mm-hmm. It's like unfortunately, he's just the side character.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's a lot more storylines you can do with the Hulk.
Than Groot,
with Groot, it's like,
but
what you do.
But the fact that that's all he is, everybody still loves him, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so.
All the merch.
Exactly. All the Groot merch.
So they had that character in the MCU just for the merch.
Yeah, and I was kind of bummed when I thought that they just sort of sacrificed him at the end of this movie. I was like, really? We're going to kill off this lovable character that's just kind of there?
And that's when you get Baby Groot.
Baby Groot.
But yeah, definitely cool. I feel like, as we're talking about this, I feel like because we talked about this in the last podcast, we're like, do we like the more short form versions of the MCU Phase 2? But I feel like I kind of like just talking about all the movies in general.
I do too.
Instead of like talking about just overall thoughts of all the Phase 2. I kind of like talking about each movie because each movie brings a different like dynamic or different things that you can talk about.
You can't shorten these movies.
Yeah. So I don't. Yeah. So definitely, I feel like us talking about. I feel like I'm enjoying it more talking about like these movies as individual things. So
yeah. So I think Guardian serves a good purpose. Just for it's the introduction to, hey, like there's going to be other things from deep space and other galaxies that are going to come into play.
Yeah.
So I
could see that why it would be in Phase 2 now that you said that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it would have been cool to get like a different,
of course,
movie like a Hulk or a Black Widow. Would have been cool to get a single like a movie.
I think the problem with those characters is that they don't have a lot of screen time, so therefore like they don't get their own movies. They're not as important, unfortunately. Like I love Black Widow, but like she's just a human. That's all she is, and because it's Scarlet.
The more her you go into, well, I guess you kind of do that with the Black Widow movie, but like her background, like where she was, who's the one that raised her and everything, and trained her to be like this like top-notch assassin.
I like the idea of not knowing like the background of these characters because they're part of some sort of secret organization.
Like done like a James Bond type of style Black Widow movie.
But like I like not knowing what Nick Fury's about. Like we're supposed to already know that he's got.
I don't think he needs his own movie, honestly.
No, yeah, I like the idea that knowing that Black Widow comes from some Russian, her dark Russian side, and it's like I don't want to know too much about it because I like the mysteriousness of not knowing anything. Same thing with Hawkeye. I love that he is very good at what he does. I don't need to know a background of like how he got to be who he is. I just know as humans, these three are like phenomenal. Like they're the best thing that comes out of not having powers.
Yeah.
And I think not knowing too much about them plays a key role in that. It's like, hey, like, yeah, they are just humans, but it's just like, look at them. They're fighting side by side with people who have powers and suits and stuff. So I think they play a good role in that aspect. And then like jumping into Ultron, like I think they do showcase them a little bit more in Ultron.
Oh yeah,
which I think is cool.
Which is what you kind of have to do because it's Avengers movie, so it's not just meant to be one person attached to that title, and it has to be each one gets enough of screen time or enough screen time. So definitely going into Ultron was definitely because I didn't watch all of it. I only got to like the halfway point. But the thing is, I like Ultron, but the thing is, the beginning starts like very abruptly. If I remember that, and like when I watched it again, I was like, I don't know if I necessarily like that because in Winter Soldier they introduce the Hydra has a scepter and all that stuff, and no one knows that, so they're working undercover and all that. And then you get into Avengers Ultron, and it automatically dives into them finding the base and finding the scepter, and then setting off everything that happens after that. And it's like, wait, they were just no one knew about them, and then it kind of just automatically throws you into the mix of like, okay, they found them, they have the scepter now. It's like then I feel like the payoff is a little weird on their point because it was like I feel like it could have been like a little not you don't have to dive too much into it, but go into like a little story before they find the base and then sets off everything that happens in the movie instead of us giving us that scene and them finding the base, finding the scepter, and then that's it. That's how it begins. So I don't really like how it begins. But definitely, like the rest of the movie is definitely like cool.
I don't mind that it starts abruptly because it's like we're already kind of into this. We're far into this phase where it's like we should already know what's kind of going on because the way Winter Soldier ends, it's kind of like they're gonna be hunting for like the rest of these Hydra things. But
I would have been cool to see that because also too what it kind of takes away from because in the end of Captain America Winter Soldier, he says, I'm going to go look for Bucky. And that's what he's going to be doing. That's like his new mission, all that stuff. And then you get into this one, and Captain America's already there with them, finding the Hydra base and everything. I was like, wait, wasn't he supposed to go on a whole side quest to go find Bucky? And of course, he does that after we get through Ultron, because then that introduces Civil War. But it kind of was like, oh, he's here. But I was like, his whole thing was like, I'm going to go find Bucky. And now he's here with the Avengers without like second guessing it or whatever. Yeah. So I thought it was, I don't know, like it was cool. Like the scene was still cool seeing them all there, but it just felt very abrupt. Like it didn't take any of the build up that was from the previous movies to start up the movie. It kind of was just like, here you go.
Yeah,
we're diving into it.
I get that. For me, I kind of don't care that there was filler for that. This is an Avengers movie, so there should be no filler, period. But I can understand where if you wanted that. What would you really get out of it, though? Them attacking other bases and be like, we found information about this head base.
Yeah, because you could add a mystery to it, and then also to how they found them. Because if they're being secret about it, like they probably found it somehow or something like that, where the base was located. And like I said, you don't have to dive into it like super heavily, but maybe like the first 20 minutes, maybe, instead of us throwing us automatically to the point where they find the base and find the scepter. Like,
yeah.
I'm not a writer, so I don't know how they would improve
I can only imagine that like this isn't the first base they've taken out together, and it's sort of like a long list of like, hey, we got to where we need to be. Here's the important base. We're going to give it to you that way. I could see why. You're the first person I've heard that's ever said like, oh, I didn't like how it started.
Yeah, because I don't know. It's just like that build up and everything from the previous one. I don't know. It just seems like the payoff is weird.
My question to you is, from there to where we are now, would those extra scenes really be important though? Is my question to you.
Well, I don't like. Again, I don't. Would I say they're probably not important? But no, it would be nice to see a smooth transition instead of like an abrupt transition and be like, here we are, we're in it. And it's like, what happened? Like, how we got to this point? How do we get to this point? Like, I don't know.
Well, they're just cleaning. I can understand that. I just know that from the point that it takes off, it's like they're just cleaning up the mess.
Because that's what I like about Avengers, the first one, is that there's a build up to it because like they're not getting along in the first. They have a fight with each other and everything, and then you slowly see them transition into that team. And then I don't know. I feel like there was, instead of giving us we're already in it, I feel like there could have been some type of, I don't know what you would do, but like I feel like there could have been some story, and then getting into like.
Well, I think that's what those other movies are for. Like in the beginning, like, you know, Iron Man 3, Thor: The Dark World, Captain America: Winter Soldier. Like those are supposed to be like the character development movies, and then it leads into Ultron, and it's like, hey, like each of these characters have grown a little bit more on the maturity side. So throwing them directly into like, hey, they're working as a team, as a solid team, is kind of perfect, because then it gets crumbled right away.
My favorite thing though about the transition though is that when Shield gets taken over, and by the end of Winter Soldier, they're like going to go talk to Stark Industries, and then he becomes Shield pretty much, because he pretty much funds everything for everyone there. So it's kind of cool to see that he's at a different like status now.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
For Tony Stark, he's like, yeah, I'm just and it's a funny part because it's like, oh, leader or something like that. Like Tony Stark, he's like, oh, I'm not the leader. He's the leader. Yeah. I'm just the one that buys everything, makes everyone look cool or something like that. And I was like, that's a fun line.
One thing I would say about like the Ultron movie is that this sort of plants the seeds of like Civil War.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because everybody fucking hates Tony Stark, and I don't know necessarily they hate Banner because he's part of what he's doing, but it's just like, hey, like you're doing this without consulting us, and it's like,
yeah, but not everyone hates him because Hawkeye agrees with Tony Stark.
yeah,
Hulk agrees with them, and then the other ones that are against him, I think Black Widow's like in the middle, and then Captain America's like, why are you doing this? And then of course Scarlet Witch's character that gets introduced because she like was against them, but then joins their team after she realizes that Ultron's like, I'm here to kill everyone, not just the Avengers. And she's like, I can't do this anymore. I was thinking we were just going to kill the Avengers.
I think Hawkeye was on the side with Captain America because in Civil War he's on Cap's side, and Black Widow's on.
Well, in the movie when he's trying to bring Vision to life, in that movie, Hawkeye actually defends Tony Stark's thing to release him and all that stuff, and because I think they're trying to destroy it or something like that. Or,
yeah, no, I remember that.
Quicksilver rips it apart, and then Hawkeye's like shoots his arrow or whatever to stop Quicksilver from doing anything. And I was like, but yeah, in Civil War I know he does on that side, and I think Black Widow's like more in the middle, but then she does join his side too. She joins Tony Stark's side, doesn't she?
Because they're switched. I know they both switch sides.
But yeah, I don't think everyone hates him. It's just more. It's like we're a team, and you definitely see that more in this one because they're still like you have two. This is the second Avengers movie, but they still definitely feel like they don't agree with everyone. And like even when they introduced his wife, Hawkeye's wife, his wife tells him straight up, "It's like you need to know that they got your back. Like how can you trust this team? And everything." So it's kind of like adds that question that this is not a structured team yet.
Right, because they fall apart midway through the movie because Ultron's tearing them apart on purpose, and then obviously using Wanda to get in everybody's head. So like it plants
definitely as we get into Civil War, I always like Iron Man more. But when as far as like which side is which, like which opinion they wanted to agree with, I was like I don't necessarily I favor Tony Stark more. But I kind of agree more with Captain America's side because after seeing everything, you realize it's like you notice that government can also like the government whatever has like control of that. They're gonna either there's something threatening, but they're like we don't want to be part of it. Correct, against legalities, like we don't want to do that. And it's like, well, people are gonna die, and so now they have to be held on standby. They have to be kept in check.
Right.
And it's like no, because if there's a situation, it's like they should be able to go freely and be like, you know what, let's go fix the situation. But then also too, you saw with like Shield. It got infiltrated by Hydra, and even like the higher ups and stuff were like influenced by Hydra and stuff. So it's like you can't really trust that side of things.
The problem
because they can easily get manipulated for a gain that's going to benefit them and not like the world as a whole.
The problem with that for me is that like Tony Stark has a guilty conscience, and it starts from the first movie. Like he's got a guilty conscience because all of a sudden, because he has a near-death experience. I mean, I know he sees his weapons being used against people, so he changes his mind. Yeah. But it's like you were okay with it for a very long time until something happened to you.
Yeah.
So, and every time something bad happens, he always seems to have a guilt conscience, like it's his fault and we need to do better. I don't think he's wrong in that aspect, but I just think the way he went
like he wants to improve it. But yeah, again, because he has that vision that Scarlet Witch gives him. That he sees everyone dead, but he doesn't tell anyone about it.
Yeah.
And then he makes his decision based on what he saw.
Right.
And he's like, you kind of need to include everyone else. And the only person he tells that is Nick Fury.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, well I saw everyone die, and this is why I'm making my decision. And I was like that. I was like, no, it's something you should have like shared with everyone. And it's like, yeah, it's traumatic because you saw all your friends die and everything, but it's not something you keep to yourself because then that's gonna make you, when you make a decision or whatever, it's going to make you be like you're being selfish about it or you're not thinking it through.
Yeah.
When you could have just told them in the beginning, I saw this in my vision. I'm trying to protect everyone. And that was the thing. But he didn't have that conversation with any of them.
No.
So definitely I feel like, again, when we were talking about the last podcast, definitely like everything in Ultron's kind of like Tony Stark's fault, unfortunately.
It is, yeah.
And even like Scarlet Witch's like side of things, why she tries to kill the Avengers, because her brother and her were trapped in a house and like their parents got killed, and there was a missile that was in the house. They didn't know when it was going to go off, so they were just stuck in that house, and they saw the last thing that they saw in the missile, it said Stark Industries. So that's why she has that hate for Stark Industries. So it's like all these little things from the past of who Tony Stark was is now coming back to like haunt them.
Oh yeah,
their ass,
definitely
haunt them pretty much.
Yeah.
So
I think, and I just think like the way Civil War starts off with like, oh, like he's kind of blaming the entire Avengers for like what happened in Sokovia, and I'm just like, okay, but the plan to blow up the floating rock was your idea? Why is that everybody else's fault? And I like, and I understand like in war, like there's casualties and things like that. He should have already understand that, like, hey, like we're not gonna be able to save everybody.
We're not gonna be playing with fate.
Yeah, so like you need to understand like people will perish and die, but it's kind of like, hey, do 1,000 people die or do millions of people die?
Yeah.
And I know that's a really rough decision to kind of, and I know especially for Tony Stark, it's kind of a rough decision for him to handle, but he wasn't really thinking about that when it happened. It wasn't until somebody confronted him and said like, oh, like you guys killed my son. And it's like, no, they're forced to make a choice. It's either this many people or that many people.
Yeah.
And so it's not like they had the time to think
and
about it.
At the same time, it's not like they are the ones that caused the thing. Because if they weren't there, if like the team wasn't there when that situation happened, even more people would have died. So yeah, people died, and that's unfortunate. But at the end of the day, it's like it would have been way worse if they weren't there in the first place. Because who else is gonna? These are Ultron's machines and super advanced technology. What are you guys gonna do as a normal army? Your bolts aren't gonna do nothing to them. Your tanks maybe do something, but they'll easily get rid of those tanks. And so it's definitely like you need the Avengers to be able to keep the stuff outside of
and then like
on check, because you can't leave it up to just humans taking care of that threat. Because if that big rock and no one made the decision of what happened or whatever, it's like what would humans do? Right. What would they have done? How would they have done it differently?
Would not have done anything.
Exactly. Wouldn't have been able to do anything.
Yeah.
So,
and there's a lot of good battle sequences in Civil War. I love every action scene because we get introduced to 2 new characters in that movie. Well, Spider-Man and Black Panther.
Yeah. Before we I guess dive into like phase 3, I think let's try to end it with our phase 2 talk. But pretty much like, what do you feel like is the better? Which Avengers do you like more, 1 or 2?
I think 2. The first Avengers is great because it's like the culmination of like everything coming together for the first time ever is awesome. I just think I like the story better in Ultron than I do the first one, just because like there should already be a team. The fact that they get broken up a second time in this movie by the bad dudes and like they almost kind of like lose it is important. And the fact that they bring to life a whole new character that serves a major purpose in like the entire like Marvel universe.
Wouldn't that be Loki?
No, Vision.
Vision. Yeah,
Vision. Yeah.
No, you don't. That's another. You know what I think about? That's another character that gets underused in all
nerfed.
That gets all underused in all of the MCU because you don't really see much of him. I think you see Vision of course, in Ultron. I don't think
Civil War.
Do you see him in Civil War? I don't even remember. He fights on their team or whatever. Or he fights, and then I don't think you see him again until Infinity War.
Correct. Yeah.
That's only 3 movies, so it's like I love Vision, and it's like, but I was like, I feel like they could have used more. And the thing is, they're still up in the air if they're gonna be, because I think they finally did a good announcement, Vision Quest. And it's like I feel like we should have gotten a Vision project like in this like phase or something, because like I feel like Vision's such a big player in this universe.
He should have got his own movie.
Why are we waiting till after Endgame to finally give him a project? I feel like he should have gotten a project in this one. I think I would say too, though, to send off MCU Phase 1 and 2, I would say that I think I do like 2 more because again, I love that they introduced Scarlet Witch. I love Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch is probably one of my favorite characters. So seeing her getting introduced into that character into the movies was great. And again, another character I feel like is underutilized in like all of this phase.
Yeah,
and she doesn't get her own project till after Endgame.
I do. I think the battle sequence in 2 is so much better than the first one.
Yeah,
I like the Ultron bots fighting.
And then Ultron's the way he talks and everything is just so awesome.
Yeah,
so edgy and just like those liners and stuff. And it's just, the guy they got to voice him did a phenomenal job playing with Ultron. So
he'll be back in Doomsday.
Well, he technically exists in What If because they have I think. It's Ultron, and he has all the. He has all the gauntlet, or he has all of the stones.
But Ultron is actually Vision, so he takes place of, because remember he does get his mind into Vision's body, so.
Part of it.
He's the real iteration of Ultron.
Yeah, he's like half of Ultron because I think when he does the booting sequence in Avengers, I think he only gets like half of his mind from Ultron into the actual Vision. So he's only half Ultron.
No, because they switch and they upload Jarvis into it, and then they drop the stone in it. Because that's why the voice of Jarvis.
No, because I remember right, he was uploading his like mind into Vision, and then it gets cut short, and I think he only gets like halfway, and then that's when the team shows up to take over to get Ultron's. That's when Scarlet Witch finds out what Ultron's true intentions are and stops the Doctor from being mind controlled, and she shuts off the project, and then it ends there, and then he takes the cradle with him, and I think he only gets like 50% of himself into Vision.
But I know that when the body is with Tony Stark, I think they completely start a whole new upload, because they upload Jarvis's consciousness to Ultron's body. Because there's the sequence when he first comes to life, he's like, I'm neither Jarvis nor Ultron. And he's like, I'm Vision. Like, so he's neither of them.
Yeah, because I think he's like 50% Ultron, 50% Jarvis.
It's because when they put the Mind Stone in him, whatever the Mind Stone is kind of like what it sort of makes him to be.
Yeah, well, that's the final piece. That's Ultron. He grabs it and puts it in his little right here. And I was like, But yeah, I definitely love Scarlet Witch. I really wish. You know what? Honestly, character that should use more in MCU Phase 2, Quicksilver.
Yeah, unfortunately,
because he gets introduced in that one and then he dies in that one. It would have been cool to see him in Civil War.
He would have been really unique and helpful to somebody.
But also too, I feel like unfortunate. I would have loved to see more, but I feel like that definitely starts the character arc for Scarlet Witch's character, even though you don't get too much screen time with her. But that's definitely her turning point to where she gets when she gets into WandaVision.
True. So
I guess it serves a purpose for setting up a character story, but it would have been cool to see Quicksilver again. Honestly, seeing their dynamic in that movie, like he's like her ride or die, and she like they've been together with each other for so long, and it's like if it was his life or hers, he would sacrifice his life to save her. Like it's definitely love seeing that brother sister dynamic between them. Like you could definitely tell that they care about each other, and they enjoy each other's company. Because every time Scarlet Witch is dealing with something, because I think that's when Hawkeye uses the electricity thing on her face because she's trying to manipulate his mind, and he's like, this is my first rodeo with like mind control or whatever, and she jacks her up, and then Quicksilver's instantly in there to go save her, and then like she's like, I think he takes her out, and then she's just sitting there, and she's like panting a little bit, and he's like, are you okay? Like he's like freaking out, like are you okay? Like is everything all right? And anytime something happens to her, Quicksilver's there to like be there for her and be that comfort. And I love that. I love that about them. I love them. So to be able to see that in future projects would have been really cool to see more of that development, but I guess it serves its purpose because
my only gripe with it is that this kid's super fast. You're telling me he gets killed by bullets?
Heck yeah!
I call bullshit. I'll bullshit on that. You can't be.
He's superhuman, but not that superhuman.
I mean, if he's got that power of Quicksilver, yeah, you should. I think X-Men: Days of Futures Past did a really good job of.
I love that one.
Quicksilver.
We'll dive into that.
If you get like the powers he has in there, it should be the exact same powers he has in the MCU, where he's running so fast that not even bullets moving should be able to hit him. Which is why I think it was a disservice what they did to him. They should not have killed him.
Yeah, they shouldn't have killed him. It would have been cool to see.
He would have had enough time to either move them or move the bullets. Literally just could have been done, but I don't know why they killed him off. And
I get it. I guess it serves like I said, I feel like it serves a better purpose for her character story arc to start with that. Because everything, like again, when you get to WandaVision, like all of that is what makes that happen. And so, I guess it gets its service purpose. But again, I would have loved to see Quicksilver in a little bit more in future movies.
Definitely,
would have been cool. But yeah, I think overall, I really like that. And like Ant-Man, there's not really too much to talk about. Just Yellow Jacket was cool.
I love it. Yeah,
I love the introduction of Paul Rudd with his Ant-Man. And
I love the
comedy.
The fight sequences in that movie are so good too. I love it when they're in the helicopter in the briefcase.
They definitely get creative with the fight scenes in that one because you can go small, big. So I definitely love seeing that like fighting style. Like he's small, big, small. Like it was definitely went creative with the cinema, the fighting in that game.
It was cool to see that. Like hey, like not only are things on the big scale, but on the small scale, like there's a lot of things happening that you don't see, which was cool.
Yeah. then of course he introduced like all the gang from there, like Hank
Mhm.
Pym and his daughter and stuff, which eventually comes the Wasp in
Yeah.
phase 2. Yeah, phase 2.
Mhm.
But I think that's like almost closer to Infinity War when we
Yeah.
get
It's
the
actually
movie.
after Infinity War.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, it is
That's when
because of the post credit. Yes.
Mhm.
But overall, I really enjoyed Ant-Man. Like we were saying, it's the underrated movie in this phase.
Definitely.
But as we move on, we enjoyed phase 2. It's definitely cool, but I know everyone wants to hear about our phase 3, and as we go into that, we're just going to be going with the first 3 movies because there's a lot of movies to cover in phase 3.
Yeah.
So there's no way we'll be able to cover this in all in one episode. So
yeah,
we'll start off with the first 3 movies, which I think
Civil
are
War.
all pretty good, honestly.
Yeah, we got Civil
coming
War,
off of Civil War,
Doctor Strange, and then Guardians Volume 2.
After coming off of Infinity War, or not Infinity War, Age of Ultron, and then you get like the side movie introducing Ant-Man, and Civil War right after that. It was just like, I don't know. Civil War was so good, honestly. I enjoyed the crap out of Civil War because I remember my first reactions with that trailer, which was the big takeaway. It's like when they're like in the fighting sequence, and then he's like under roofs. This is we didn't even know this was gonna happen. Like we didn't know nothing got teased or anything. We didn't see it till the trailer, and then Spider-Man comes in and has Captain.
Hey everyone.
Hey everyone. And then you see his like eyes shift, or like his like doesn't his like eyes transition or something like that?
Yeah.
Like because he has.
I just remember he jumps, he swings in, and then he's like, "Hey everyone!"
And then the trailer ends right there. Oh my God, we're getting Spider-Man!
That whole fight sequence was so sick to see.
I love that. I felt so excited when I saw it because it's like we haven't had a Spider-Man project in for so long, and like the other ones that we got, like Tobey Maguire's one ended. We didn't get to see the grand finale of like Andrew Garfield's, which I would have been great to see a third one. Yeah. So like we didn't know what Spider-Man was gonna be, like what we're gonna like expect when we're gonna see Spider-Man. Then Civil War drops, and they're like, "Here's Spider-Man."
Everybody fell in love with Tom.
I was like, "Oh!"
Even though he had maybe like 15 to 30 minutes of screen time, it was enough.
And you know what? Honestly, the other thing with Spider-Man, which is also exciting, get introduced to Black Panther.
Yeah.
Which I think. I don't know, the way they made him feel in that movie felt so, I guess, edgy. Like I enjoyed the crap out of seeing Black Panther in that movie.
It is so sad that he is not with us no more.
Yeah, unfortunately. I miss Chadwick Boseman. He did a phenomenal job with that Black Panther.
I think he's the character they can't replace with anybody.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody should fill the shoes for that. Just like if something happened to Robert Downey Jr., nobody should fill the shoes of Iron Man.
Well, any of the original cast, like Captain America too.
You can't do it.
Can't really do a brand new Captain America that isn't Chris Evans.
Yeah.
But seeing Black Panther for the first time, this is another character I didn't really know too much about, but like seeing him, especially with like the black and purple, I was just like, oh, his costume design is so sick in Civil War.
He was OP in that movie. I was just like the claws and everything, how he moves. I was like, damn.
And then even Captain America, because I think he chases Captain America on a motorcycle. Yeah. And then he's like, doesn't think they could keep up, but then he's like right there.
Bucky. No, Bucky's on the motorcycle. Cap's running behind him, and so is the Black Panther. That whole sequence when they're underneath the freeway running.
Yeah, and then he wasn't expecting that. He was like, "What the like? This guy's keeping up with me." And I'm like, Black Panther. Oh, Black Panther, dude.
So sick.
That movie was so great. And the fact is, it's so crazy because it is a Captain America movie, but it kind of felt almost like an Avengers movie.
It did. Well, because the entire cast was there.
The entire cast.
Everybody who was important to like the franchise was there.
So I'm probably thinking it's like, did they originally plan for it to be an Avengers movie? And they were just like, you know what, we need to do a Captain America. We can't do back-to-back Avengers movies.
Civil War is so huge in the comics. Like, it's a lengthy battle. I know we only got one movie on it, but in the comics, it's a lengthy battle. Yeah, because I remember
reading on it briefly one of the old graphic novels I had of a Civil War because I knew it was coming. So then I wanted to read up about it. And definitely seeing... Oh my gosh, that movie was so good. I love that movie. I definitely feel like that was like the peak Captain America. I don't know. Can we say it's like a good Captain America movie? Because like again, it feels like an Avengers movie. It doesn't feel like a standalone Captain America movie.
It's definitely more a Captain America movie just because the end too, like when Stark finds out that Bucky killed his parents or whatever, and like even though he knows that Bucky did it, but he was under mind control, like he still defends his friend. Yeah. And he even tells Stark like, "Oh, he's my friend. Like I would do anything for this guy." And he's like, "What about me? I'm your friend too." Yeah. And it's like,
and I guess also too, I get it, but at the same time, Tony Stark's been very good about keeping his secrets. And then the one time Captain America, he keeps a secret from him about Bucky. He's like, "Oh, how dare you hide this from me?" And this and this and that. It's like, bro, you're the one that always keeps the secrets and does whatever you want to do. So you really can't get mad at Captain America for this. And yeah, it is unfortunate that he's the one that killed your parents, but at the same time, you didn't get along with your parents.
Yeah.
You didn't get along with your dad.
Guilty conscience.
You didn't like your dad and all that stuff. So like, yeah, it's unfortunate that you found out who killed your parents, but at the same time, it wasn't Bucky's fault.
And he was under mind control. Like exactly. I understand like he did do it, but it's just like, dude, he was not in control of his own self. But did Bucky ever apologize for doing that? No.
I don't know.
Because he doesn't remember. Yeah. I don't think he remembers.
I don't think he remembers either.
But that whole fight sequence though, when they both team up against Iron Man.
Which is also shown in the trailer, so when I saw both of them fighting Iron Man, I was like,
when he's throwing the shield, Bucky catches it, throws at him too. I was like, this is badass.
It felt like a Ultimate Alliance,
dude,
like
for real.
The game, all the combos and stuff. Like that felt the way they were working with each other to fight Iron Man felt very like video gamey.
I like when he's trying I think it's Friday is trying to monitor their moves and study them so they can give him a fighting pattern to go with. But as he's doing that, he's getting the shit kicked out of him.
He still holds on his own though.
He does, yeah.
Iron Man, for someone that just has a suit and like you're fighting two super soldiers with adamantium.
Yeah,
he does pretty good on there. I don't know.
I do like the fact that when he's battling him and he just melts Bucky's arm because he's like crushing the chest piece. I was like, dude, I did not see that coming.
So definitely, as much as I like Iron Man and I definitely like his character more than Captain America, I definitely felt like Iron Man was definitely like kind of like mostly in the wrong for Civil War.
I do too. I think
especially like the opinions on things like we should be kept in check, and then he's like, no, we shouldn't. And I kind of agree with Captain America. You shouldn't be kept in check.
How later on he figures it out. He's just like, oh, I fucked up.
Yeah.
And then he goes to help out Bucky and.
But it's fun though, because when they introduce like back to like Spider-Man and like I guess he's fighting them and there's like he's using his webs and everything and everyone's like having a frustration dealing with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's it. I love Tom Holland's character Spider-Man. Definitely was not expecting to enjoy.
Just wait till we get to those movies to talk about it because we're gonna glaze over
because I think we get one Spider-Man movie in this phase because we don't get the next two projects till after Endgame.
Yeah.
Because
Homecoming is when
is when we get it, but that's like later in the phase. That's like towards almost the end of it. But
I'm excited to talk about
honestly, I love Civil War. Civil War is great and seeing like the sides of everything. But it's kind of funny when I think about it. Whoever's side Scarlet Witch was on wins automatically.
Which was Captain America's side.
Yeah, which is Captain America's side.
But like funny
in reality, before the team, because she doesn't the team feels very like balanced and whatever when they fight each other. But like when I officially saw that and Scarlet Witch was on Captain America, I was like, knowing how strong she is, that would just be a sweep.
Well, same thing with Vision being on Tony Stark's side. Like, he could have easily destroyed everybody on that side.
I guess that's what kind of balances Scarlet Witch is because they had Vision on his side. But yeah, it's definitely seeing cool, and it just adds more to like how unstructured they are as a team.
Oh yeah,
because they have that unstructuredness in Ultron. And then you go into Civil War, they literally fight against each other because they don't agree with certain things. And it's just like, it's just so crazy how unstructured you see them. And we're already like this far into the phase.
Yeah.
You would think they would feel more like a team this further in, and you kind of don't get that feel till you get to like Infinity War.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
But yeah,
I think Civil War is probably
Civil War, and
even though it's not an event
to introduce Phase 3 and pop off with Civil War like that, I feel like was a great way to start it. Yeah, just like we're in the third phase, we're getting closer to like the end or whatever. Like it has to just pop off from here and all that. So
and then
I think it did a great job introducing all these different things.
New characters.
You get 2 new characters get introduced that I didn't even know were gonna be in the movie.
Yeah, right.
At all. So when seeing them,
they did a good job hiding those characters in the trailers, which I do appreciate. They didn't showcase Black Panther and they didn't showcase Spider-Man.
You just get to see them in the
trailer. They did the thing where it's like they showed the trailer, but they CGI'd them out of it. So when they're standing in the lineup, you could see there's gaps in the stand-up, and I was like, "This is badass," because that means that there's people missing that we don't know anything about.
But yeah, you get to see Spider-Man. But I don't think they had a trailer that showed Black Panther was going to be in it.
No.
Or was I wrong? I don't know.
Maybe they did.
But But I guess going off of Ultron or going into Phase 3, I didn't know what they were going to introduce. Yeah. So before we saw the trailers, I did not know what they were going to do. And then when they did the trailers, I'm pretty sure they did teaser them a little bit, both characters. Then we were like, oh, we're getting a Spider-Man and a Black Panther. But before seeing that trailer, we were just like, what are they going to do? So when they chose those characters, and after watching it, we were just like, oh, what a phenomenal what a phenomenal way to start Phase 3.
Definitely.
And it's funny because you go on to that, and then you kind of go into Doctor Strange, which kind of is like a slower pace from like
totally
Civil
separate
War.
from what's been happening. Yeah.
And it's kind of funny. I didn't think about it, but in Winter Soldier, they actually name drop Stephen Strange. I didn't know this, but you know the Hellcarriers. Yeah. You know how they like target onto people that like that's the whole plan of Hydra, so they get to like all the intel they have digs up on people's past and stuff, so that's how it triggers who it's gonna kill. And he's like, oh yeah, there's like a list, and then he's like, who's on the list? And then he was like, oh, it was like the normal names, and then he's like, Stephen Strange is also on that list. And I was like, oh, I totally forgot. You don't know anything about him,
I don't even remember,
but they name drop Strange's name in Winter Soldier.
That's cool.
So going into that, we finally get his movie, and I don't know. I don't think you could have picked a better Doctor Strange. We get Benedict Cumberbatch.
I think he's perfect. He was
coming off of, which is kind of crazy. He kind of starts off in Sherlock, which was very popular and stuff, and then he kind of just grew from there, getting into like a big role like that. He is Doctor Strange now, and like seeing him as Doctor Strange, I was like, I don't know who else he would pick. He just fits it perfectly.
I thought that movie was really cool.
It was fun. It was definitely. I enjoyed the
entertaining. Yeah, very entertaining.
You get introduced to the new the stone, the Eye of Yagamoto. Actually, you don't even know it's a stone yet. I think you just know it's the Eye of Yagamoto right now at the moment in there. But
no, they do say, because they call it the time stone inside of it. They do call it that.
And that movie was definitely cool, especially him coming off as like a very much like a selfish,
snobby ass guy,
selfish guy, because he's like a successful surgeon and all that stuff. So he has like that high lifestyle,
and then low,
has that mindset, and then gets into that low and has to like learn to do like it's not just about him. He has to put other people into like this world, and then he becomes very much a protector. Like right after that movie, pretty much is like, I'm gonna protect the Eye of Yagamoto, and I'm gonna defend the realms as much as I can.
One thing I hate about that movie is that I don't like that they kind of get rid of Dormammu right away. Like, he's the bad guy in it, like the protagonist. We find that out, but it's like, this is another all-powerful being, kind of like on Galactus level, powerful being.
I don't know if he's Galactus power.
He's up there. Scaling. I know he's up there, but like they kind of nerf him a little bit too, because like you're telling me that like because he catches him in an endless loop, that's how he defeats him, and then he just sort of just gives up. He's like, I don't want anything to do with this. I'm gonna back off. And it's like, really, we're gonna kind of ixnay a powerful being like this with something very simple like that. It just sounds kind of counterproductive. And who knows if we'll see him in the Doomsday stuff. But and again, it just comes. They didn't kill him off, but they sort of just kind of pushed him to the side a little bit.
Let's take a quick pause. Honestly, Doctor Strange was great introducing him and introducing like a whole other like, because he can open up like. I guess you kind of get a feel for like a multiverse type of thing in this one with Doctor Strange, but he's definitely like a strong. He definitely becomes a protector, and like he gets put in his place with his teacher. That trains him pretty much.
I could have done without the love story too in Doctor Strange. I felt like
I don't even remember their dynamic too much. I forget her name.
It's sort of pointless because it's like, after that movie, there really isn't any talk about her. So it's like, why even give us
because technically you go on some Multiverse Madness, which is for their like long phase.
Oh, he's at the wedding.
He's at the wedding of the girl.
But that's it, though. I mean, like, it's the one that got away. Like, you're never going to get a chance at her. So, like, what's the point?
Yeah, but he's like the protector of the realms now, so he really doesn't have time to for a relationship, unfortunately.
No,
And I think he realizes that as he's grows as Doctor Strange. But honestly, I enjoyed Doctor Strange. Of course, what was his Mads Mikkelsen being the villain? I feel like I enjoyed him in that movie, but I feel like he was underutilized in that 100%. Movie. I feel like you have Mads Mikkelsen, you can't just, I don't know. I feel like they could have done a little bit more stuff with his character, but it kind of feels like very, I don't know. I feel like they could have done some more. I feel like it was very cut short with his character and everything. And then, of course, you get my favorite part of that whole movie of Doctor Strange is the when I think it's Dormammu. Is it Dormammu?
Yeah.
That he introduced, and he like keeps on trapping him in the realm
and the loop, and he gets killed like hundreds of different
times. He's like, I can do this all day. He's like, you know what? Do whatever you want. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
But that was that in Doctor Strange? The first one? Yeah, it was. Huh?
Yeah, because after he makes that agreement with Dormammu, he ends up taking his acolytes back. Remember, and they just kind of phasing away, and they're like, oh.
But it was definitely fun to see Doctor Strange. And again, I feel like another character that was kind of underutilized because, again, we don't get a movie of him till after Endgame.
True.
A lot of characters that don't get movies till after the Endgame, and I feel like they could have served a purpose of getting more movies in this phase.
Yeah, especially if somebody of that importance with the time stamp.
Yeah, exactly. But then as we go into Doctor Strange, we get into like Guardians 2, which I definitely enjoyed. It was definitely fun, and you definitely see them in a different light as a team.
Yeah.
And then him finding his origin about who he is, and he's like pretty much a celestial,
which is cool.
And then his dad's like a super douche because he's like the turning point right there. He's like, it felt so wrong when I had to put that brain tumor or that tumor inside your mother, and then you just see Star-Lord like get super like pissed, and then he goes like hard on him, and it's kind of cool that he uses his celestial powers in there a little bit. I get it. He's so used to not having that, and he doesn't want to become like his dad. But like, it would have been cool to see for him to keep his powers as a celestial. That would have been so cool. It would have. I feel like it would have been a lot more of an interesting turnout if he had his powers in like in Infinity War.
I think it's only right though that when he kills his dad, he loses his powers because it's like he would be the main
because he's the whole planet. Yeah, he's the whole planet, and he even tells him that too. It's like if you kill me, you lose all you lose your source of power. And it's like we're celestials, we're like beyond
fine
God.
By me. I don't
and
care.
So he's like, you know what? But then it kind of just shows like his growth too, because like I think earlier Star-Lord would have probably been like, yes, let me hop on that. But like him, he's like, you know what? I've done great so far without powers. I think I'm good. I have my team that has my back, that we can do anything. And he's just like, you know what? I'm okay with losing my powers. So it definitely shows that like character growth with him. In that retrospect, so definitely a great movie. And then also too, you get to see him, you see Pac-Man when he's that part was so funny. And then you get more Yondu, of course, and you kind of like he ends up realizing
baby Groot.
And then he realizes that like he doesn't have a father figure, but kind of like Yondu was his father figure.
He was a better father figure than
he was a better father figure for him.
And I do like that he tells us like, oh, like I saved you from this kind of stuff, because Yondu knew what he was doing, and he finally found one where he was just like, I can't do it. Like, I can't be part of me sacrificing kids anymore, so I'm gonna save this one.
And I love Yondu because he has like the that thing seems OP, bro. Every time I see that in like the movies, I was like, damn, this thing just seems overpowered pretty much.
I was so bummed to see him die.
Yeah, definitely.
But I do like how you kind of see like that emotional side of Star-Lord a little bit, like when he dies,
and it adds like the complexities that you let her get to for Star-Lord's character. And then also too great, we almost forgot about, they introduced Mantis, which I think is a great iteration to the team, especially keeping like Drax entertained and stuff. So definitely a great movie of introducing like Drax. He dropped his powers and like I don't know what the post credit was in there, but
I don't either.
I overall enjoyed that movie. Would you say it's better than the first one? Or would you say that the first one's still better than the second one?
No, I like the second one better. I just feel like you get a little bit more out of these characters this time around. There's a little bit of a different dynamic.
I definitely like,
and it starts off with them like battling somewhere on some planet for those I forgot, the batteries or something they're looking for.
Oh yeah, in the beginning they fight that big old monster or something like that. Yeah, that was definitely fun to see.
I like how that started off, the dynamic with like baby Groot. It's like, oh cool, we get Groot back in a different way. So and it was cool to see that.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think the
improvement on the first one again,
when they split up and they go their kind of ways to do this, do that at the same time. Oh, and then like Nebula kind of joins in on that a little bit too.
Does she? You get the turning point of her, because I think she's very much still stuck on like, I'm against you, but you kind of see that
because she flies.
You see that switch a little bit shortly for her sister Gamora,
because she spends time with Rocket. Rocket kind of convinces her a little bit, and then she flies to the planet where they're at, and then she runs into Gamora. Then they hash it out, and then it's kind of like her father's an evil piece of shit. Like, what don't you see about that?
Yeah, so you do get introduced Mantis. You get Nebula more trying to come to terms with being part of their team and stuff. So definitely
you get a little bit more of the Ravengers too, kind of like the takeover.
Isn't what was his name? Oh my gosh, what is his name? Sylvester Stallone's in it, isn't it?
Yeah, he's part of the big old. He's like the main Ravenger.
Yeah, I thought that was
I
fun
wish
to
we
see.
got more information and screen time with who the Ravengers are as a team. I know there's kind of like there's different little packs that they got of different leaders on each one. I wish we got more of that, because we only ever got what the Yondu side was on, which is okay. But it's just like for a Guardians movie, I feel like they should have included them way more.
But yeah, overall, strong start to the MCU Phase 3. You get introduced to one new character, Doctor Strange, and then you get an improvement from the first one for Guardians, and then Civil War.
Epic.
Just introducing Spider-Man and Black Panther, which is
and just
awesome.
seeing the huge divide there is between.
Yeah, exactly.
Because from Civil War, we don't really get any interaction between the rest of the team up until Endgame.
Yeah,
because that's when they all sort of team up with each other again.
Yeah, but definitely it's crazy to see that you're already this far in the phase and they're still very divided.
But I do like how in Endgame, though, even though they're still divided, some of them kind of reconnect, but the whole team doesn't really reconnect until
until the things happen.
Until Infinity War.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
No, it's Infinity War, then Endgame.
Okay, yeah. So Infinity War, like they're still sort of divided. One team is battling on Earth, the other team is battling in space. And it's not till Infinity War when they sort of like come back after the snap and it's like
Endgame.
Yeah, Endgame. I'm sorry. I keep getting an Endgame.
Like Infinity War.
And Endgame when they come back and it's just like everybody's defeated and it's not until
But we'll dive more into that because I feel like each movie, Infinity War and Endgame, could literally both be their own talking points pretty much because there's just a lot of stuff that gets thrown in there. But we just wanted to cover the first 3 movies. Honestly, with how many projects we got in Phase 3, I feel like they should have. In a way, I feel like it should have been divided into 2 phases.
Yeah, we should have gotten one more phase.
We should have got Phase 3, then Phase 4, honestly. That's just what it feels like. So, but overall, I feel like it's definitely Phase 3 has definitely been fun and we enjoyed it. Can't wait to talk about the other projects because we have like Spider-Man. I think that's part of the next like set of movies. I think, and then I think is it? I think
no, because it's after Infinity War.
Is it? Oh, I think for sure we get Black Panther.
Yes.
So talking about that, yeah. But honestly, great start to like Phase 3, and it just keeps on ticking off from there. And I think that's mostly our thoughts with the Phase 3. Definitely enjoyed it. I think coming off of Phase 2, I think like Jordan was saying, it's like it definitely feels like it's like the better of the phases, but at the same time, it probably should be because it's like the climax that it's been building to, so it should feel like better than Phase 2. It shouldn't be falling short.
I think it's a really good gradual like. Here's the set of movies, here's the next set of movies, here's the last set, and it sort of peaks right there.
Yeah.
I think they did a really good job with that sort of ladder of movies. Like the proper buildup was there. I feel like with a lot of these new ones, there's no ladder. It's sort of like an up and down type of thing, which is not ideal for this type of franchise.
Yeah, but feel free to join us in our next podcast when we talk about the next set of movies. We're gonna be ending this talk right here because we're already kind of going over the time limit that we usually try to have because we're already like almost like I think 2 hours or past 2 hours. Yeah. So, as before we close it out though, we want to say that because we're probably gonna end up extending our giveaway till next week,
just to give everybody a chance.
Just to give everyone more of a chance because I know people are life's busy and stuff. So I feel like giving it another week. And we'll probably end up sending out the post again tomorrow. So then you can find you get the whole week to try to enter, and then if everything goes right, we'll announce a winner for the W
on episode 11.
Next episode, which will be episode 11, which will dive deeper into Phase 3 with the next set of movies, and and then also too arcraiders talk because update drops on Wednesday, so we're definitely gonna have a lot to talk about with arcraiders, which is gonna be fun, and I'm really looking forward to see what they're gonna have in store for us with this new update, and hopefully it's enough content because there's no roadmap after this month, so
we'll see what's in store.
We'll see what happens. Stay tuned to hear our thoughts about the new updates. But feel free to like, follow, subscribe. And any other last minute thoughts?
No, I just definitely appreciate the love and support from everybody that's watching our stuff and out there. We do want more interaction from everybody, so we really want you guys to tell us or give us some criticism, talk about what you liked about our
episodes. Did you like the way we talked about, because I feel like we were a little bit weaker on MCU Phase 2 the last podcast. Do you like this way that we talked about it? Because I feel like we still talked a lot about, even though it's kind of a reiteration of Phase 2, I feel like there was a lot more that we talked about with this Phase 2. that we didn't talk about in the original podcast. But let us know, like, did you like that way that we talked about it, or did you like this more way? But I feel like the way we talk about it here, well, we could talk forever pretty much about this the project. So I don't know if people will like the longer form, the longer form of us talking about MCU Phase 2, or rather us talk to us.
I think some people would appreciate the detail.
I think, yeah, because honestly, after we're talking about it, I was like, we talked about a good amount of stuff about MCU stuff, but I don't know. I felt like for me, it was a little bit weaker than like our Phase 1 talk, which I still thought we got all the good thoughts out and everything. So
100%.
Definitely, I feel like I enjoyed talking about it a lot longer in long form about like just stuff in general. So same. Let us know in the comments if you like the way we talked about it this podcast, and if you didn't, let us know as well and be like, hey, we want you to do it the way you did it in the last podcast.
Yeah. Shut up and keep it short.
we don't want to be here for almost 3 hours just on one topic. But
we'll leave all our links up here as usual.
We'll have our links up here. Us. It was kind of cool because I was able to put the discount code picture for our W as well over here.
Put it over there.
That's where I did it. So it's kind of cool. That
Get that 10% off, guys. Come on.
Get that 10% off as well. So we'll probably put it over here. So that's kind of fun.
I'm down.
So, yeah, our links will be here. The W code will be right here. And then we'll see you guys in the next episode. And hopefully we can actually announce a winner for the next episode. But, yeah, stay silent. Stay lethal. Let us know if you enjoyed this today's topics, and if you enjoyed the way we did the intro, because I feel like it's been 2 episodes that we've done like the way where we do the intro, and then do our logo intro, and then go into like the topics, or do you like it better where it's just like the logo, and then we just go straight into like the topics and everything? So let us know down in the comments, because we did it too, but I think both of us have agreed we kind of like doing the little quick intro. Then cueing in the video. And then going into like the
trial and error. We're always going to be trying things around here. So let us know if you like or dislike.
Yeah, definitely. But I hope
catch you on
everyone has a good day, good weekend, and we'll catch you in the next one.